All right, let's do a cheers to the Sobeys and Safer Liquid Beer of the Week podcast.
We ride again.
I love you guys.
Careful, that cake's hot.
It's the 6 o'clock check-in, come on, let's go. It's the AM nasty big hello. It's not static, AM radio. It's the cool bed red hot Nielson Show. Let's go. Everybody tuning in, even my wife.
Mommy likes too.
And those Macromella intros are cutting like a knife. Hey, it's Mitch texting in, he's your dealer for life. Let's crack a 6 o'clock and lager with some sirloin bites.
Happy Tuesday, everybody. Happy Tombstone Tuesday this morning.
How dude.
Thank you very much for being here. Dusty and Lieutenant Eric with you. Fresh off a night at the Riverhawks game with the whole crew and Nasty Club member, Dustin. That was one of the prizes for all the Nasty Clubs. We did a draw, and Dustin with a Y ended up winning, and he came for a little sports night out with the entire EST team. It was a lot of fun.
Hell of a night. Gets the hat as well, the EST hat, so that's
Yeah,
nice.
that was nice.
Riverhawks put on a show for us. Maddie Iwanic as well, putting on a show for people.
We'll get to all of that. We're going to be running our first ever video clip on the studio TV here, and it's controversy of Matthew Iwanic winning a potato sack race / steeplechase thing at the Riverhawks game last night.
And now being noticed in public wherever he goes, right?
Oh, yeah, my God.
Mr. Popularity.
You think Matty was named flag bearer for Canada at the Olympics last night? Won a thing of sauerkraut. He's walking around the stadium last night. People are like, oh my God, you're the guy who won the sauerkraut. Matty's like, yes, I am. When we were walking back up the hill last night, somebody drove by, like the window was down, they yelled something. Matty's like, I think they're yelling about me. I was like, oh my God. Like, Trevor, this is your first dose of Iwanic actually winning something. It's the worst. I don't know how as a guy who lost in that race is going to deal with this, but it's got to be frustrating for you.
It was, not really. It was nice to see him get in the win column. It's Matty. It's Matty we're talking about here. If I wanted to actually, win that thing, I could have won.
Yeah, what did you say this morning? What was your bold claim?
If we ran it back, that there's no way Matty would come out on top.
Wow.
There's no way. But it was good to see him smile, and he gets a win. I don't know if he wins much. So it is nice to just basing it off of the talking about it. Like you win you win a race, and he's just talking about it. If I won it, I'd be like, oh, that's nice, and let's go on with our day, right?
Yeah.
But he's like, he's making sure that he knows, or he's making sure everyone knows that he won this race. So good for him. I will say it's nice because obviously after the air ball, that's kind of why he wanted it. And you know what? He showed up. I'll give that to him.
It was a good time. We got lots to break down actually from the Riverhawks game. Good to be back. How was the show yesterday?
Great, yeah. Gage
show.
on a Monday was kind of weird.
I know, it's
a
strange.
sober Joaquin Gage here doing the show to kick off a week, but he had a bit of a raspy voice. He was behind the bench all weekend long at the.
That's right. He was coaching in the MAC-T thing.
Yeah, so he was actually went down there and creeped on him. So he's great. He's going like this with the players, like you move there, like he's doing like chest beats.
He's actually coaching.
Yeah, voice was a little hoarse. They didn't make it to the championship or anything like that. Bucky's team, 2-time back-to-back champions.
Oh
so,
my goodness.
I think he had a good weekend, and I appreciate his time as always. But it was a nice Thursday, Friday, Monday here show.
Yeah.
You CFL another week, great results and tight games.
The Bombers Riders was a low scoring affair, but a nice win for the Riders. The Riders defense is championship caliber. It's undebatable. Shea Patterson does a great job filling in for Trevor Harris. But when Trevor Harris is back in the next 2, probably 3 weeks max, if he stays healthy, which is a big if at this stage of Trev's career, but if he stays healthy, the Riders are like that Riders-Lions.
It's his
West
offense too.
final,
He goes
if it
right
happens,
back in.
like-
There's no.
No. Yeah, he goes. I mean, that Riders defense is unreal.
Roland Milligan, hey,
Roland Milligan,
MVP.
I'm like, if it wouldn't look weird because I'm like a CFL guy, if I could buy one jersey in the Canadian Football League right now, and it's like he's the boundary side halfback,
Obsidian Zero.
but I'm sitting here being like, not Obsidian. I hate those jerseys. But I would buy a Roland Milligan jersey. I swear to God, that guy on special teams and on defense is literally all around it. Should have had another interception in
Like
that
a blanket.
game. Like,
Exactly.
He is a phenomenal talent. Man, he's a lot of fun to watch. But yeah, those Obsidian jerseys. I mean,
for the call is bad. I mean, from your point of view,
it's awful.
They could have
I mean-
added a stripe down the side of the pant. That would have a nice green stripe. Would have been nice.
that would have
It was
been
a little too much like dark. Black.
It was. I get there, and I look down to this. The guys are warming up. I look down to the field. And I said, "We're screwed." Like usually, you can kind of make something out. Like the Elks. The Elks rolled out their like green on green numbers this year.
Yeah.
Hated it.
Yeah.
Could make it out a little bit. These ones, like the guys were standing on the sideline for the anthem. I'm looking down. I couldn't even read their numbers. I was like, "We're screwed here." Luckily for
You
me,
and suits grab hands.
well,
Let's
yeah,
go.
yeah, full blown Thelma and Louise. This thing, like, now I don't think I screwed up a single player. I was patient on some of them. I'd look down to the monitor, and we could get a close up of it. But yeah, I know. I wish teams would take play by play people into. I know they never will. I know they probably shouldn't. But personally and selfishly, I wish they would take us into consideration when rolling out a jersey that has black numbers on a bloody black jersey.
Just get a vote.
Makes
One
no
vote.
sense.
Be on the board.
Luckily for me, Sean Bain was wearing like the white tape on the arms, and Emelis wasn't. I could tell who Schaefer Baker was. I could tell who Picton was, obviously. Those two guys, Ajo got into the game. I could tell who he is. He's
How can you not tell who he is, eh?
And then, but Emelis and Sean Bain are very close, and I was just like, what are you going to do? And then, thankfully, Sean Bain was wearing the white tape on the arms, so that saved me a little bit. But man, I could do 3 hours today on not having black jerseys on black numbers with a dark green outline. Put a white outline on there. Anyway, not to sound bitter, but I was super bitter about it.
In memories though, you get down to memories. With Sid,
We did have dinner there on Thursday night.
Yes,
Yeah, first
yeah,
time
yeah.
I've been to Memories this year. It was real nice.
Yeah,
I saw
pretty
Jamie Nye there.
Oh,
He was at
okay,
a different
yeah.
table.
the sports guy.
Yeah. It was a little bit awkward because Britt Dort was there with Jamie Nye and the local media, and us TSM folks were sitting at other tables. So she was almost thinking about Mrs. Doubtfire in it.
Yeah.
You know, like going back and forth between the two tables, changing from man to woman as she did it. But yeah, no, that was a fun little night. What else did I do on this trip? Where'd we go after? Oh, I was in Calgary. Nothing really in Calgary.
Well, the Bono Bowl. I mean, was there any sort of celebratory before, afterwards? Wally and everybody else.
no, I saw Wally after the game at the Keg.
Yeah.
But that was pretty well done.
Wanted Farron on the show Monday. Goes, I can't. I think it's going to be a late one tonight. And then I noticed he was doing sidelines for you there. So
He
I
did
wondered
sidelines and then he flew home that night. So it would have been.
I thought maybe he was going to be partying with Wally or something in a big night.
So we
Bono's
had him.
world.
Remember, we had him on last week after the Jones firing. We had him super early, like 6 o'clock Pacific time, and he's like, "I don't get up early." So he's like, "You owe me a dinner." So Saturday, he's like, "Hey, we're gonna cash in on that dinner."
calls you on the dinner.
Like Kenny Banya. Farhan's my new Kenny Banya. So Farhan Banya texts me and he's like, hey, I'm over at Joey. You want to come get me that dinner? I was like, my God.
I like how he goes and says, "Come buy the dinner." Like he's already
he's already there.
Like
he's
eating.
there. I woke up from a nap. There's a text message.
Come and
He's
get
like, waiting for my dinner. I was like, oh my God. So I walk over to Joey. Luckily, Dwayne Vanneau, president of the Lions, and Rick Campbell and Ryan Phillips, a bunch of their coaching staff. There was a wife's trip for them. So they were there with their wives and stuff. And Vanneau ended up buying our dinner. So now I'm wondering if Farhan's like, because I was going to buy the dinner for him, but then Vanneau was like, I'll get your guys'. I was like, oh, thanks. And Farhan's like, oh, you're getting them out of a dinner here. But now do you think Farhan Banya tries to claim another dinner, even though I was more than willing to buy him that dinner?
Little does he know, you're never going to buy him the dinner. It'll be HR daddy expensing it out of business.
For sure. Type of thing. Put it on the card.
Farhan Banya, though.
It's not me, you sucker. I do like calling him Farhan Banya.
I really like that.
If you're watching over on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up for us. We are in the quiet months of summer. I mean, it's obviously pretty clear right now, but we've got lots to discuss
Had
today.
Gabe Locks on the show yesterday.
I know. I saw that take yesterday.
And Will walks in. We just get him on air. Will's walking in for the hangout. Worlds were just colliding. It was perfect.
Phrase only booked Gabe Locks. I think we did. Phrase was with us for, 7-8 years. He only ever booked Macromala once, and then we kept Macromala forever. And I'd be like, Phrase, we need a guest tomorrow. And he'd be like, oh, and this would be like January 10th. I'd be like, hey, who'd you get? He's like, Gabe Locks. How can you only ever get Gabe Locks? Now, with that being said, Gabe's a beauty. So that must have been a fun chat.
No, he's great.
Yeah, that must have been
Went
a
around
fun
the horn.
chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's
Jay's trade
good.
deadline, NL wildcard race.
Oh, all the good stuff.
That's
You think that's good? Wait till we preview Olympic basketball tournament today. Yeah.
a group of death.
It is a tough group.
It's terrible.
But Canada is the second odds-on favorite to win it behind the United States.
Group of death for who?
Exactly. This is exactly what Australian sports radio stations are saying right now. Group of death. Because they're worried about the Canadians.
Yeah, Greece killed Australia in the kitchen with the frying pan.
Pretty much. That's how it works. Let's lay the show out for you today. We'll get to your morning announcements coming up. At 6:30 today, this is a good one. I like this. Jaunty in Victoria sent me a remix of a Teefs Jarius Jackson song with the actual, with music.
Boy, that's a mouthful.
Yeah.
One more time.
Jaunty in Victoria's remix of a Teefs Jarius Jackson song coming up at 6:30 this morning.
Yeah.
What a
that's summer,
time
baby.
to be alive. That might be the most summer sentence we've ever said in our entire life. Jaunty and Victoria remixes a Teefs Jarius Jackson song.
Featuring VR Montenegro. Hype man.
We'll get to that just after 6:30 today. I'll talk a little bit about the Feast on the Field coming up here as well. Just after 7 o'clock today. I don't know what was the Elks conversation like yesterday on the show?
You know what?
Didn't get into it
We
too much.
discussed it. We said
All
it
right.
happened. I needed. It's too much now.
All right. Well,
the defense shows up, then it's the offensive line.
know.
Like, what are you gonna do?
I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll get to it just after 7 o'clock. Should they start Trey Ford this week? Just in the classic mix it up.
Sure.
You're 0-6.
Get fans down to the park.
Mix it up. That would be a second win for Matthew Iwanek this week.
Oh God.
I can't remember the last time Matty stacked win on win in the same week. Like, that'd be incredible. Nasty Bash is happening this Friday. Should be a lot of fun. If you would like to come and do not have the invite or are not on the list yet, email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com. Friday night, St. Albert Rugby Club. Going to be a real nice time.
And the weather perking up for you as well, right in the Dustin Nielson wheelhouse. It should have been Friday. Oh, even a little chillier. 18 now with a chance of showers.
Chance of showers on Friday?
Yeah.
Part of that patio's covered.
Oh yeah.
So we're good.
But it'll be a nice spritz.
Yeah, I got a hotel booked Friday night out in St. Albert with the brother of the Godfather. So it should be a pretty good time. So Nasty Bash is happening on Friday. If you would like to join us, email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com and he'll get back to you. Cool Bet Hotline of the Day coming up just after 7:30 today. Weekly Confessions brought to you by Spectrum Rental. We are going to determine at some point in hour number 2 the draft order. Well, not really, because we picked the draft order. We'll determine the order for draft pick selection for the movie prop draft.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Because you could choose the seat if you want. We're going to do the movie prop. You got a nice list going already for this movie prop job. Look at this.
There's a lot, and
Holy
we can
smokes.
keep going. I mean, it really never stops with this. Can you imagine if I wanted to still commish of the draft, too, with the week he's been having with the win last night? He would have been insufferable in that as well. He'll be, like, even those interviews, he'll be, so after my win, I know a little bit about winning. He'll tell you, like, I can't, this is going to be nuts.
Josh Lewenberg is going to join us, NBA reporter for TSN. He'll pop by around 7:45. We will talk about Canada heading into the Olympics. Can they take down the big bad monsters of the United States who've been pushed in some of these pre-tournament games and saved by Captain L'America? What a name. I love it. Also,
Couple messages in the Paris Jewelers inbox for you regarding
a conch for LeBron James for becoming the flag bearer for the United States, something that Michael Jordan could never accomplish. Who's the GOAT now? Kind of easy trivia for Mr. Mike's. 3 questions too many for the great staff over at Park Mazda. That hurts for your personal injury lawyers at SBLLP. I think Gage is going to pop by. I mean, I haven't talked to Gage in a while. I'd like to talk to them about the final episode of Acolyte.
Well, even the Hungaro ring, too. There was more than enough to discuss from the Hungarian Grand Prix.
Easy yesterday. And then the rap for William Huff was texting with Bruce last night. He's like, I should have given me the heads up. Could have got the whole crew down into the suite. I was like, I can't be rolling into your suite with 7 guys. Like, that would have been, that would have been a tough one. Anthony's in and says, guys, I'll see you beauties on Friday. # golden ticket.
He's got a golden ticket.
Oh, Nasty Bash is going to be a real nice time. Real nice time. We will have a major announcement at the Nasty Bash on Friday. So if you want to be a part of Edmonton Sports Talk history, I do suggest you come and join us at the St. Albert Rugby Club. Just email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com. And he'll let you know if you can come, if you can bring a +1, and all that fun stuff. So that should be a good. Trevor, you ready for your first Nasty Bash, buddy?
I was born ready.
Oh my God! Listen to this, guys. Anybody ever been more confident for a party than YouTube Trev is right now? All right, let's get into your morning announcements today for 100.3 The Bear, Edmonton's best rock. Yukon and McCord every single morning. Jess Jackson in the afternoons at 100.3 The Bear. The Nielson Show is presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet, where Nasty rolled in and bought a truck over the weekend.
Saw that.
They were all fired
Love
up. It works. Advertising with Edmonton Sports Talk works.
Hello, Nerf gun fight.
Numbers are very nice. You'll like them. Yeah. He bought a truck, and then Daniel shot his eye out with a Nerf dart. But it's a memorable experience.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it always will be at South Fort Chevrolet, 10109 89th Ave, Fort Sask, or visit their website, www.southfortchev.com. Tell them we sent you, and they'll give you 15% off accessories for your new ride. So, slide on out. It's closer than you think since 1983 at South Fort Chev, 10109 89th Ave, Fort Sask. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. 22 stores in 4 provinces across the country. www.parisjewelers.com. I haven't seen you guys since anniversary night.
No, yeah.
I ended up getting my wife an anklet from Paris Jewelers.
I love it.
Yeah, real nice. She liked it.
Ivory?
No, it's so 14th anniversary. No, it's ivory or modern day yellow gold or regular gold.
Well, that's
so I got her regular gold. She doesn't necessarily like wearing that usually, like the regular gold. But I said it's for your ankle. Suck it up.
yeah. And
So
a special
she
occasion.
put it on
type
there.
of
She's
thing.
like, it's real nice. I said, yeah, I know it is. So that was good.
So you went there first.
Yeah, she got me a Kit Kat Chunky
Okay.
and some other stuff that I can't say on the air.
Oh, one of those love boutique shops, eh?
No, it was just Hawkins Cheesies, actually. I got carried away. But anyway, it was a real nice anniversary. A lot of fun. Went for a good dinner, and it was a good time. All right, so last night, Riverhawks, we're going to talk about some stuff that we did. We're going to use this screen for the first time to look at the controversial win that I want to pick up. It should be a lot of fun. We've never done this before. But a BS call. I mean, if you were at the Riverhawks game last night, they almost got screwed over by the umpire.
I can't comment because I turned away when the play happened and completely missed it.
Oh, you were all over him, though.
I cranked my head one way and then
Yeah.
but no, we were. I mean, you join in. It was a mob
the
mentality.
Riverhawks, they got runners on first and third, 1 out in the bottom of the 9th, down 4-3. The guy at the plate tries to lay down a bunt, and it bounces like right in front of the plate, then clearly rolls foul just to the right of the first baseline. And catcher, the umpire lets it go. The first base umpire looked like he waved it foul. They throw the guy out at first. The other guy moves from first to second, so they got runners on second and third after it, which I guess is mission accomplished, really, when it's all said and done. He was trying to sacrifice himself anyway. But it was so plainly obvious that this ball was foul. I don't know if there's a rule or something I don't know about, but it looked to be a foul ball to me. The umps come together. They do call him out. And then a vicious at-bat. I mean, the guy was fighting off a couple of strikes again and again and again, and then hits one out to left field, gets past the diving third baseman. The guy from third scores to tie the game at 4, and sure enough, rounding the bag at third, heading home. They pick it up at left field. It's got to the plate, and he's safe. He's safe. Can you believe it? It was just an incredible finish to the Riverhawks game last night. It was a lot of fun. It wasn't like it was a little bit smoky as a Monday night. It wasn't a big crowd, so the lines were great. It didn't have to wait. It was a really fun game last night.
No, it's a bit different and smoking over as the evening went on, but they needed that one as well. 5-5 in their last 10, now 2.5 back of Wenatchee. That'll be the team visiting this coming weekend.
Oh, huge.
So that's a big series as well.
Is that this week or this weekend?
This weekend.
Okay.
Yeah, the Nanaimo series will continue, and then Wenatchee this weekend at home. So.
The Nanaimo Night Owls.
Yes. The Night Owls, as a few were calling them around the
what a classic!
concourse.
What a classic joke down at the old stadium last night, the old ballpark.
The old park, yeah.
The old ballpark. Tough night for Zacticum. It was a great night for Awanek. Tough night for Zacticum. Glue guy got Zacticum a beer bat, and Zacticum. I posted the video last night. Zacticum poured the beer. And it was the worst pour I've ever seen in my entire life. And I know it's a little bit more difficult pouring into the beer bat than like a regular, but come on. I mean, the beer bat is what, yay high? About this, like this big?
I'm retweeting the video right now.
There was like this much beer in the bottom, and then the rest of it was just foam and head. It was an awful mess. Absolutely awful
But you couldn't wipe the smell from his face.
Oh, no, he was loving it, though. Everything we did, we played a little game of Do You Know That Athlete last night with Zacticum at the ballpark as well. And he got a few of them, but he failed miserably on some others. I always forget that Zacticum was born in the 21st century.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he could have
So he
made that
doesn't
ESPN
know a lot
list.
of these guys. I was like, Zacticum, who's Mark McGuire? He's like, I've never heard that name before in my life.
Yeah, that hurt.
We were playing a game when I would name the athlete, and he just had to tell me what sport they played. And he got a couple of them. He looked at me a couple times like, I can't believe you're even asking me this. But then he missed on like Reggie Miller, Mark McGuire, Mariano Rivera. It's funny.
Stop
it's funny
now.
teaching
I'm already
kids
dead.
stuff. It's good. All right, so let's look at this. Let's dive into. Let's dive into the race. Let's bring it up. Okay, So this is what happened. We're going to try to set this up. Let me see here. AirPlay, Studio TV. All right, Trev, you select live TV there. Let me move this. Okay, so this is the race last night. And we're going to show you exactly what happened. It's tough if you're listening. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com, we're going to try to do the best job. Imagine yourself sitting in the Riverhawks game third base line, and you look down to the third base, and they've set up 4 individuals in potato sacks, which Zach tried to put over his head, apparently.
Yeah, he had a bad one there.
Yeah. So let's run it here. So I was surprised because usually potato sack races, you hop forward. But you guys started hopping backwards. I had no idea what was going on.
Maddie Murdoch from the Riverhawks, really nice, runs all the promotions. She's like, hey, you guys want to do a potato sack race? You're thinking, okay, potato sack race. As you mentioned, you're going forward. You just go. You cross the finish line.
Yeah.
We get down there, and then the details start pouring out. You're doing it backwards. There's a pony involved. There's
They called
all this
it a
other
steeplechase.
It was very but last second.
So you got a horse on a stick, and then you had to run back. I don't even know where the finish line was. I guess maybe by the mascot. Anyway, So let's watch this. So Maddie gets a decent start. So we'll watch him. Here we go. All right. So I thought that you guys were going to be coming forward. Instead, you end up going backwards at the beginning of this race. And Awana gets a pretty good start here. Lieutenant Eric, you're keeping pace with him right here.
Yeah.
And this is where it gets controversial. So watch this. Awanik's just coming back here. I just need the old rickety. So this is Awanik right here.
He's already looking.
And he's reaching back looking for this horse. Now, you can't see the horse holding person. They're behind this umbrella. But Eric is also, look, you're reaching back right here. Look at this arm. You're already reaching back as well. Watch where this horse gets handed. Both guys, I would argue actually that Lieutenant Eric is technically closer in this video
It'd be
right
an
now
easier handoff,
than Matthew.
That
than
damn
Matthew
umbrella,
Wannick.
though, hey?
The
It's
umbrella.
kind of strategically placed.
Yeah,
I saw him
it's
setting
rigged.
that up before the race.
All right, so let's keep watching this. So Wannick and Eric, actually, Trev, you're looking back here too.
Thank you.
I mean, I technically don't know what Zach's doing. He's up here.
He's having a good
All
time.
right, so let's let run. Okay, so stop. So Wannick gets his horse handed to him.
Starts
Let me see
galloping.
if I can roll it back. There we go. I can roll it back.
Zoom in.
So Maddie reaches back, gets the horse.
Yeah.
Okay, Eric's still reaching. You're still reaching.
Still
You can see
behind
right
the
there.
umbrella.
Look,
Yeah, look at
this
that.
guy's out of his sack, also looking for a horse.
Looking
Still
for a
doesn't
horse.
have one.
Horseless.
Trev's looking for it as well. We roll it. Maddie starts galloping on it. Here.
There, look at that. Yeah, look at that trot.
I don't know if he's wearing a wig or whatever either. Look at his hair. It's just flowing. So then Trev gets the horse. Eric is still reaching for a horse. He's now proceeded to go behind the girl, essentially. Maddie's galloping still galloping. Then he sees Trev just start running. So Matt starts running and he'll go home to take a victory. There, Eric finally emerges with the horse. Maddie wins. Trev looks like he's going to get second. But Eric passes him right at the line. Trev ends up finishing third, and there Zach is coming in fourth.
He's still
Zach
got
was the
between
only
the
one
legs,
who
though.
wore his shoes.
Yeah.
Everybody else was barefoot. But major controversy here, what should have happened is all four horses should have been placed in a row at the back, and then you guys could have grabbed. So it's a little bit of a sketchy win for Wannick, I guess, is all I'm saying.
I mean, he'll take it, but you mentioned that umbrella and what could have been. Now, yeah, if the horses were down, I don't know why she's kind of watching him, though.
Gallop,
she picked him out of all the
gallop,
people to kind of give to
gallop.
first.
That gallop is
Boing,
killing me.
boing.
I love the gallop so much.
But you guys kind of got hosed a little bit.
Oh, totally.
Well, if we go back to the original
All right, I'm going
start
to kill the
too,
video now.
there was no go. I don't know. And you saw Maddie had like a wicked head start compared to all of us. I will say that. All in all, it was still really fun. And we didn't really talk about how bad Zach was. He was like, we were all trying to get the horse, and he hadn't even got there yet.
Zach, I almost threw Zach downstairs last night. So we're walking back up the 104th Street stairs to go back up. The evening started at Kelly's. I had a nice little dinner, a couple of drinks there, then walked down to the ball game. So then we're walking back up, and Dustin with a Y, who was the Nasty Club member who won this, him and I are both over 40. We're working our way up these, I don't know how many, it must be 200, 300. Like, it was ridiculous amount of stairs. And Dustin and I are almost like grabbing each other, like we're at the top of Everest. It's like, I got to a point where I wasn't, if I stopped moving my legs, I don't think they were ever going to work.
Sharing an oxygen
I
tank.
was just like, boys, have fun with the future of Edmonton sports talk. This is where you leave me. So as Dustin and I are struggling our way up these stairs, Zach just kind of comes walking right in between us. He's just like, oh, stairs, cool. I almost grabbed him horse collar tackle style and just threw him back down the bloody stairs, this kid. But I felt so bad for him because he didn't know who Mark McGuire was. I was like, I'll just let you go. Just let you go.
Yeah, that was crippling. He leaned over and dropped that little nugget midway through the seventh or something. The Mark McGuire stuff.
that was
That
tough.
can't be happening.
That was tough. All right, let's get to a sports update. Riverhawks, it was a good time last night, though. It was a lot
Hell
of
of
fun.
a time.
Guys behind us are having a pretty
Yeah,
good time.
almost caught
It
a
was-
T-shirt.
Did you almost get your T? Oh, we got to get to that still. Man, we got Riverhawks are a great experience.
Yeah, but a few ideas.
Except for one thing. We're gonna get to that coming up here because
Yeah. When does he go back to school, hey?
like
Talk about the players.
Very frustrating. Sports update right now with LT.
Well, you heard it there. Riverhawks with a 2-run ninth on way to a 5-4 victory over Nanaimo, taking the opener of that 3-game set. Game 2 goes later tonight. We'll have it for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starting at 7. The Hawks 5-5 in their last 10. They sit a game and a half back of Wenatchee for top spot in the North Division. Prospects, they're on the road tonight. They'll visit Fort McMurray in Western Canadian League action. Jays host the Rays to kick off a 3-game set. MLB's trade deadline fall next Tuesday. Jose Barrios will get the start tonight. First pitch 7:07. Miami over Memphis 120-118 in overtime as the Heat capture their first Summer League championship. The second-place Stingers will wrap up their CEBL regular season schedule at home to Winnipeg next Monday. And the Elks are back home to host the Ticats Sunday. Week 8 will kick off in the CFL Thursday from Montreal between 2, 5, and 1 clubs as the Alouettes host the Rough Riders.
What say you? Hey, nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. What say you? Hey, nasty crew. My wife thinks I got better things to do, but there's nothing I can do about it. We're tuning in on TuneIn, we're listening online. We catch up with the podcast when we fall behind. We're texting in the nasty chat, what's on our mind. 780-218-9999. No more interference from corporate interest. Just Dusty and Eric and all of the bad cats. Like Brzezinski and Noodles, Gadget and Gage. Maybe it's but a cool band to make a little wager. We can't wait for the Monday Mandate. Shaggy's always on time. Tommy's always late.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Forget about the old place. Hey, we were number 1 in the text race. We don't miss all the commercial breaks, but we sure miss Nickelback today. We wanna hear some Huntix and we wanna hear Renee. Wanna hold the neck up when I wanna kiss away. Beat left the tire fire and remember that name. We love every goal song, but what about the games? Macramella, Rapapo, Dragger, Engineer. It ain't Christmas season, but they sound like reindeer. Button and my cousin and the tales of the North. All the bug give a present, Dusty go forth. What say you? AM Nasty crew. We got the Nielson Show flu. Well, there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it. And there's nothing we can do about it.
Oh, what's going on? 634 with the AM Nasty. Thank you very much for being here. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio, where they got the boneless wings in the house at all Popeyes locations. If you love the bone-in wings, you're going to love even more the boneless wings, coming in all the same delicious flavors, now available at all Popeyes locations. Paris Jewelers inbox is hopping today. I like this one from Jimbo. Me on my last day of work until August 6th. You tell them I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me! The Sailor's in. It says, Dusty talking to Zach reminds me of the great Hambino in The Sandlot when he's asking Smalls who was Babe Ruth.
Yeah, cuts.
That's a good one, too. Maddie treated that race like it was down to him and an old lady fighting for the last piece of northern chicken before they went out of business. That's a good one as well. Big Maple, I like it. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today. Could end up winning text of the day, which is for A&W. This is good, too. Visit A&W and come chill your thirst with the new frozen A&W root beer. Made with natural cane sugar, natural flavors blended with ice. And the most refreshing part, for a limited time when you buy any size frozen A&W root beer, you get a second A&W frozen root beer for free. What? I don't know why my voice went so... For free.
Walking Gage?
Double the flavor, double the chill, double the joy for one delicious price. Hurry in and try one today. Offer is valid for a limited time at A&W Brew Bar locations in Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, and Devon.
That cane sugar. You go for the cane sugar,
that's
baby.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Wow. Cane sugar.
That's some good stuff.
That's real nice. Real nice. That's going to be text of the day. So hammer the inbox at 780-218-9999. If you're listening on TuneIn or iHeart or at edmontonsportstalk.com, please tell your friends about how they can listen to our online station just like that, static-free every single day. And if you're watching over on YouTube, we have surpassed 9,500 subs. The push is on. The drive is on. We want to hit 10,000 before our 1-year anniversary. It's going to be close. It's going to come right down to the wire. So if you're watching on YouTube, either live or archived later on, hammer the thumbs up for us. And of course, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We're going to get to the Jonty and Victoria remix of a Teef's Jarius Jackson song. However, we do have to talk about the one thing that drove us all nuts at the Riverhawks game last night. Now, they've got the old bird cage cart that comes out.
Yeah.
And they've got the guy on the T-shirt cannon, and it's a great T-shirt cannon. There's a lot of juice
Oh, hell yeah.
in this T-shirt cannon.
It's illegal.
But twice last night, he put T-shirts up onto the roof of Remax. What are we doing here? And on top of it, he's trying to throw that flare out there by doing like a somersault into the t-shirt boom.
Yeah.
And I'm telling, like, Hogle or whoever over at the Riverhawks needs to tell this guy, until you can hit it consistently into the crowd, stop with the somersaults.
Yeah, if you're looking for a shirt, just hit it on the roof of Remax.
Yeah.
There's tons. Every size. I mean, he's been doing this all year. Game 1 I went to, he did the clean sweep of going around the park, poop, 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 all of them going on the roof.
Oh
Not
my
one
God.
went into the stands. And you're right. I mean, you can only get that t-shirt gun, I think, in like Vietnam off the dark web.
It's too much gun. It's too much gun for him to handle.
It is like a potato gun. But, there was a bit of a breeze last night. I've been there.
Don't have an
No,
excuse.
I'm just saying I've been there where it's windy, and he's shot them, and he's actually worked the wind on certain days, and he's done it quite well. But last night was it was
was
not
a
like the
train
first
wreck
game.
last night.
Yeah. But you can't be and who's going on the roof? Like the shirts. There's
You
tons
have
of
to
shirts
walk
on the roof.
before you run. You have to walk before you run.
I wouldn't even mind line drive. Like you see, boom, like you just like I'd take a shirt in the chest, that type of thing, instead of flying out and going all over.
It's tough because everybody's like, oh my God. Okay, no, there's nothing that anybody loves more in this world than a free t-shirt. It's just, that's how it works. If ever you could ask somebody, hey man, you could have anything in the world for free right now, they'd be like,
Free t-shirt.
Can I have a t-shirt? Of course you can. So everybody's so excited, like, oh my God, t-shirt gun.
Except
and then
I
you're
want
like,
a piece
right up
of
here, right up here.
sauerkraut.
And it's going way up onto the roof.
Yeah. And they soar, hey?
Tough look.
Like it's not coming down.
Tough look. I mean, he should be out there taking reps
Well, and then he gets
every single morning, 2 hours.
goes back in the little gator into a chorus of boos as they kind of go up. Like, what
You
shade?
suck!
Kids yelling at him.
Because at a baseball game, you can yell anything.
Well, those kids down at the potato sack, I mean, you think we were up
Were they
section
chirping
I.
it pretty good?
Oh, they get really dirty down there. Like
Really?
they are. Because the players are down there and
Yeah.
they just, it's no holds barred, baby.
Trev, you just think the somersault is very unnecessary, right? Like,
Just do your job. Do your job. You have one job. That's to get the shirt to the people.
yes.
Give the people what they want. They don't want all these cool, somersaults that you're doing. Oh, that's so cool with the gun. Like just it really was frustrating. And I'm pretty sure the last one even it may not have gone on the roof, but it went in the dugout.
Yeah.
Like so he went 1 for 4. Not a good record. It's embarrassing. If I was him, I'd be waking up, giving my head a shake.
Yeah.
Just not a good look.
He also had 2 in the concourse, but they went to the exact same spot.
Yeah, and he's
in
pointing
the middle behind
He's
the
pointing.
light
Okay,
switch.
you want this one? You want? He's like. Everyone's like, yeah. He's like,
I mean,
well,
there's enough juice in this thing from the field to shoot one up to Rogers Place.
yeah.
You could clear
I
center
don't
field
think
wall
I'd-
probably
yeah.
from home plate.
Actually, that'd be fun.
I think you could just
I
try
think
it.
he could take a legitimate run
Absolutely.
at that. Like that cannon.
I don't think I've seen one shoot that,
No.
be that powerful.
And if he is a listener, we want to see you. We want to see you have success, man. We want to see you have success, and it's just tough seeing those T-shirts hammered up onto the roof.
Like the flips and all that, it means nothing if you can't get the shirt to the people.
Exactly.
Like it means nothing. It's like, oh, okay, that would have been cool, but
Yeah.
the shirts are on the
Yeah,
roof
like
now.
when he does a somersault, you're like, whoa! And then he shoots it on the roof. You're like, what? Like, why wouldn't you just stand there normally and shoot it to us? So, too much showboating. There's too much showboating. As Trev said, do your job. Do your job. No, people are going to the game to win a free T-shirt. Nobody's going to the game to see T-shirt guy do somersaults. It's just, that's it. Now, with that being said, to do the somersault with that while you're holding the thing, it is like that. That is an impressive feat. If we were going to the game to watch that,
Yeah.
but you're going to the game to get the free T-shirt. So, yeah. Let's get to some of your reaction to this, of course, because why wouldn't you have it? Parachuters inbox 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Nacho Man over on the Nasty Chat says, T-shirt cannon killed Maud Flanders.
Yeah.
Should not be taken lightly.
No, she took one.
That's a good one. Scotty knows that he should have to go get the shirts off the roof every time. Well, maybe that's what it is. Maybe they don't want to give away so many shirts, so they're like, hey, man, pop 2 up top.
Pop 2 up top.
Save a few bucks. We'll go up and recycle them. Hogle, you slime dog. I love it. I love it. I used to work for a boss at a baseball team that if I would have had that idea with him, we would have been like, that's brilliant. That's brilliant.
Rounding the edges.
He was the cheapest dude of all time. But yeah, usually there's like at least at the stadium in Lethbridge, right through the press box, you just climb up onto the roof and get all that stuff back. So, yeah. I wonder if this is like an ongoing thing. They've been talking about him all year, and even the Riverhawks last night were like, damn it. Still hasn't figured it out.
It's not new. Like
Yeah.
his percentage so far this season is probably at least like it's got to be around 36% of conversion of getting shirts into hands.
I like the idea of them telling him if you do one more somersault, you're fired, and he goes, "They'll never fire me," and he keeps doing it. Like he's the bad boy of Remax Field. Like it's
The bad boy.
it's really
Got his
interesting.
gun. He's
With that being said, the cart that they've got that looks like a bird cage is awesome.
didn't Hugh O'Neill used to drive that? Puppy
Yeah, well,
around,
my kids were in it one time with Hugh O'Neill's
Yeah, right.
family. Yeah. Anyway, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Menopause Nick. There he is. Hey, Nick. My wife took me to the game on Friday, and as entertaining as it is, you've got to be consistent in getting the T-shirts to the people.
Menopause Nick coming after you now. That's
God. How about that? Menopause Nick is like, I agree. Enough is enough. Guys, consider yourself lucky, fellas. Smoke canceled the Riverhawks game I planned on Saturday with a bunch of people.
Yeah.
And it's looking like tonight it will again. Is that what we're looking at again?
Even the walk home last night was smoking over it. We got a window. We had a brief window, I think, yesterday. Lucky for us, but looks like it might be another smoky one today.
All right. Well, hopefully it can.
Jasper
hopefully it can-
evacuated, eh?
Yeah. Thoughts to everybody in Jasper, man. That's like I saw that last night when I got home. Yeah,
Shitty.
that's a tough one. Conch for everybody out in Jasper here. Hopefully everything stays safe. T Pitty's in and says, "Boys, I went to a Riverhawks game on day of Game 4 of the Stanley Cup Finals this year. He shot all 4 T-shirts onto the roof. Not one made it to the fans.
No, he's terrible. This
That's
is
in from T Pitty.
It's a season thing.
I went to the game. He shot all 4 on the roof. Part of me starting to love this guy. Like,
Maybe that's his shtick. They're like, you know what? Just keep doing it, I guess. We're talking about it.
well, this is going to Andrew. This might be text of the day right here, buddy.
Yeah.
Who has a better percentage this year, Boris Beatty or Riverhawks T-shirt guy? Oh, that's a good one. I like that one, Andrew. That's
That's real good.
That's well done, man. I'm going to put you in the mix here for text of the day. That's who has a better percentage? It's probably not Boris Beatty.
Yeah.
My God.
But it is, at least Faithful would get the shirt into your hand.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
not going for the height and the distance. He's kind of
Dean
getting the
Faithful
accuracy.
would get it to row 15.
You pick a seat. Row 15,
Yeah.
seat 7. He's getting it right there.
But somebody up at the top's like, hey, what about me up here? You're like, I don't know.
Bing.
You make that change? I mean, Beatty's essentially cost you 2 games.
Yeah. And I get what it is with him, the distance. I think we were talking about this last night. Why can't you meet in the middle? Why can't you combine the both?
It doesn't matter if you can kick a ball 70 yards if it doesn't go through the 2 yellow things that are sticking up in the sky.
Right.
Right? Like, that's a tough one. I got Tube Socks over the Nesty chest says Boris Beatty is shirt cannon guy.
Yeah.
All right, George Conlon over there says, guys, thanks to the D-Gens on the Discord, we won. Thanks, Cool Bet. The old D-Gen Den.
Love it.
Good. I hope you continue to hammer out winners there. That's terrific. All right, so LeBron James did get announced as the American flag bearer.
Yep.
What are your thoughts on that, going to him as opposed to like a...
Well, it was chosen by the athletes, correct? Like it was
I
a
guess-
voting by the peers.
Yeah,
So
I guess how can you really criticize that? then?
well, and that's why you can just sit here like Luke Skywalker with your tongue in your cheek, because what it's not like you named him. It's not like he named himself. It's
American
not like anybody
athletes voting for LeBron.
They
Interesting.
wanted Daddy to carry the flag, and here he is. So he took the bell. Now USA, he comes off, he rescues them against Germany and all that. That's the on-court stuff we'll discuss later. But yeah, I think he's the guy. I don't mind giving it to somebody though unknown to give them a bit of a moment. That's always nice.
Yeah.
Like, somebody. But yeah,
I mean, but
he
if
is
it's voted on by the athletes, I guess.
Yeah,
I mean, what are you supposed
He's
to do?
their big dog, right? Like
Yeah.
it's basketball. He's LeBron right now at this stage of his career. So I don't know who else you would give it to, but somebody a b-boy,
It does even
Tony Hawk.
as you know, kind of a big supporter of LeBron James. It is ridiculous. Even the biggest haters have to admit it's ridiculous that he appears to be the best player on the U.S. Olympic basketball team at the age of 39 years old. Like that's That's insane.
He's carrying them through. Not only the flag, but the team.
It's absolutely ridiculous. Now, I do think that team could be there for the taking against the Canadians. Now, the problem is that they're so damn deep that if you do have to get into any bench play at all whatsoever, the Americans would have a significant advantage over Canada. But the Canadian starting group, if SGA and Jamal Murray are that's a formidable foe. And we're going to get into that. Josh Lemberg is going to join us around 7:45, and we'll get his thoughts on the legitimacy of Canada maybe taking a run at this entire thing. So we'll get into that a little bit around 7:45 today. But I thought that was
just that
pretty
damn
cool moment.
That damn group is so tough, though. Hey,
but
not that I'm saying I'm not I'm bullish on them. Why not? Let's go.
But out of their group, they have the best odds to win the tournament.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Canadian basketball is now at that level where you expect I'll be pretty disappointed if they don't take a legitimate run at winning a medal.
Sure.
At these games, I think that's the expectation that you kind of have to have for these guys right now. Maybe I'm wrong. 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox today. This one is in. It says, doing a show-off somersault, then missing the shot reminds me of Patrick Waugh making that save, doing the hot dog glove move, dropping the puck, and then Shanahan scoring the easiest goal of his career. Remember that? He turned around, and Patrick Waugh was my guy. That was a killer. Reaches up like this, and the puck's sitting right there. They bang it in.
Tough.
That is kind of. I mean, that's a decent comparison. That's a decent comparison. I do like that. All right, let's talk about the feast on the field. Capital Care Foundation. Trev, throw this up. Capital Care Foundation is hosting the Feast on the Field and Charity Golf Classic with special MC guest Luke Gazdick. I think we'll probably connect with Gazdick on the show this week. We'll get Gazdick on at some point this week. One lucky foursome will get to spend the day golfing, Red Tail Landing, with Luke. Capital Care Foundation believes everyone deserves to live with dignity. They do this by providing mental wellness and a home-like atmosphere. And they do this with funds from events like Feast on the Field and Charity Golf Classic. So these are important events for a great cause. The dates on these are August 14th and 15th. The Feast on the Field is at Commonwealth, and then the Charity Golf Classic presented by Gilead is at Red Tail Landing. Go to www.capitalcarefoundation.net. That is www.capitalcarefoundation.net for more information on signing up for their Charity Golf Classic. Who knows? Maybe you have a chance to golf with Luke Gazdick out there. All right, I did say we were going to get to it. The most summer sentence in the history of the show. Jonty and Victoria remixes a Teef's Jarius Jackson song.
I'll take 2 tickets, please.
This is interesting. Let's give it. I listened to the first part of it. I didn't listen to all of it. But the first part of it I liked. This is Jonty and Victoria's remix of a Teef's Jarius Jackson song. The JIVRAJJS.
Jarius Jackson, you are for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Jarius Jackson, you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton Elks. They have a great receiving core, and now you gotta get the defense to stop a few plays here and there, so you can win a damn football game. For real, for real, for real. The fan base wants a win, so let's get out there and do it, do it, do it. Let's get out there and get the Elks to win the Grey Cup. Celebrate with the boys with the 6 o'clock log. For real, for real, for real. For real, for real, for real. Let's go, Elks.
There you go. That is Jonty and Victoria's remix of a Teef's Jarius Jackson song. For real. For real.
In the pool of that one, aqua size, eh? You gotta
That's a good one. Jonty and Victoria does it again. That's an
earworm.
Yeah, hop on YouTube and search Jonty and Victoria, And I think he's got all the songs he does over on his YouTube channel, so you can check for real.
Real. That's
I
gonna be
think
in
my
the head all
favorite
day.
part was the remix in the middle. What was it? The do.
And football get real. For real.
Yeah, real. Atif, congratulations, buddy. Congratulations, you've now made Jaunty's playlist, which is
It's
is
about
pretty
damn
good.
time.
It's about damn time. Yeah, that you know what it is. It's the collaboration we knew we were going to get.
Yeah.
At some point,
I think so. Hey.
on the Tuesday of the Nasty Bash, to have this bad boy dropped out. Well done, sir.
And the McDavid wedding.
Of course,
Big week.
Yeah. What's how do you rank? I would go Nasty Bash,
Yeah.
Elks game, McDavid's wedding. Sorry, I said it.
Well, we do have a staff meeting as well. That'd probably be.
EST staff meeting tomorrow.
Yeah. I have a bank
Little
appointment.
bit larger than usual. Oh, you have a bank
Oh,
appointment.
it's terrible.
Oh
Yeah.
man, good bank appointment or
No,
bad bank appointment?
bad bank appointment. I'm going to be laying down the law here. Like
You are.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
bad appointment for the bank.
Oh, it will be a bad.
Okay, good. Okay,
Yeah.
good.
I'm a madman.
Is it related to fees?
No, it's related to our prior employer that I'm still trying to get money for. They keep playing each other. I feel like a kid in the middle of a divorce. One person says one thing. Oh, I talk to dad. I talk to dad. Oh, talk to mom. And I keep getting sent back. So I'm getting in a room. I'm saying phone this number, and we're all getting on the phone.
Good,
On the phone.
good. That's
We're all
exactly what
We're
you
all
should
going to
do.
hammer this thing out. We're right because everybody tells me, "Oh, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry." Well, I haven't been worrying. Nobody's taking care of it. I'm going to have to start worrying tomorrow.
I mean, it's
10:30. I'm laying down the law.
It's only been 13 months.
I'm so
if
pissed off.
you can't get that sorted
Don't
out,
even-
I mean,
okay,
what are you gonna do?
move on. I don't
Let's
need to do
move
this
on.
right
Hey, you don't you get fired up?
And football get real.
For real.
The fan base wants a win, so
Man, that makes me feel something.
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. It is the Paris Jewelers inbox. That is where you can chime in. This one from the 403 area code. No handle on this person yet. Jaunty is a magician. It is pretty good to take something as Atif, I don't want this to come across the wrong way, but something as blah as an Atif song and really crank it up a notch.
It's like those cooking shows that give you 3 ingredients and they're all random. You know, here's a sea urchin, some soda
what's there?
crackers, and a glass of
20
water.
minutes later, somebody's like, "Oh, what do you think about this?"
This is amazing.
Speaking of sea urchins, I watched The Perfect Storm over the weekend. That George Clooney, Mark Wahlberg, John C. Reilly.
Okay.
They're sword fishermen. Sword fishing is insane.
A little toques.
I had no idea you could catch so many swordfish in a small amount of time. And the whole packing of them on ice and everything. I learned a lot about sword fishing in that movie. And then, of course, spoiler alert, they all go down with the ship. But, man, pretty good movie.
It was the
I
perfect
don't know if
storm
I'd
after
ever
all.
watched it before.
Yeah.
I tossed it on while I was doing some prep on Sunday morning at the hotel. And then before I knew it, I wasn't doing the prep anymore. I was just like, my God, I gotta watch The Perfect Storm. This is a
Rusty Schwimmer is in it. She plays Irene, Big Red, hey?
Oh, yeah, she's great.
Rusty Schwimmer, what a name. A pretty good cast. 46% on Rotten Tomatoes there for you. So
I liked it.
Yeah.
Now 46%. What's the deal with Rotten Tomatoes? Man? I don't understand it. Robinson says, I think T-shirt cannon guy is like Biff Tannen throwing the ball away from all those kids in Back to the Future.
Yeah, kinda.
You want your ball?
Yeah.
Throws it up, then turns around and goes, go get it. God, a classic line. Speaking of movie prop draft, I mean, Back to the Future's got to have a few on there.
Did you see the Indiana Jones hat going for a cool $500,000?
I saw that.
I mean, how does that affect standings?
How do you not take something first overall that just sold for $500,000?
Tough to kind of, right? Recency bias.
That's a tough one. If you did have the first overall pick in movie prop draft, we're going to determine the draft order for this thing coming up just after 7, or at least the order to make our picks. We'll get to that just after 7 o'clock.
For real.
For real.
Implanted.
This is good. This is good. Teacher Arlo texts in today. Says, boys, the summer Japanese adventure continues. Teacher Arlo checking in from Kagoshima, Japan. Put it on the map.
Yeah, he's in Osaka, I think.
I don't
the
think
other
I
day
said it
there.
right.
Osaka, Kyoto.
Kagoshima, probably. We got him on there. Did you guys mark him on?
I think I toid Zach to put him up there, but we'll have to see.
This is great. We're going to have a bunch of different things in Japan. It's just going to be from Teacher Arlo.
Teacher Arlo's little trip down the...
Man, it must be nice to have a couple months off to go travel around the world. Sorry, I just said it. I just said it.
Japan on a teacher's salary? You kidding me?
Marshall started his flag football camp yesterday. Through the Level Up Camps program with Sport Ball.
Training camp.
If you have not yet put your kids in Sport Ball, I don't even know what you're doing. You got to check them out. We were talking about this. I know a bunch of you probably signed your kids up in the Level Up Camps. Milne had his girls in the golf camp last week. Put Marshall in this flag football camp because he loves football. He obviously watches a lot of football with Daddy's job, so he was excited to give it a go. Check it out. Your kid will have a smile on their face and learn multiple sports. www.sportball.ca for more info on all the sports programs that they offer. But he was excited. So I surprised him because I got home yesterday at like 11:15, drove as fast as I could within the limits of the law to get out to pick him up. He's the parks in Sherwood Park. So I get out there. So I surprised him. I think the coaches, he was the last one because I was like 5 minutes late. He was like the last one there. The coaches probably thought he hadn't seen me in like a month. He was like, Daddy! Oh! So he was all excited. And I said, how'd it go? He goes, I scored 2 touchdowns and I threw a touchdown in ultimate football. And I was like, well, what's ultimate football? He goes, well, you can't run with it. He goes, you can only throw. It's like ultimate frisbee, I would guess, right? Because you guys can't run with it, right, Trev, when you're playing your frisbee?
Yep. Yeah, like if you're running, if you catch it, you can have like 2 steps.
Yeah, so that's kind of what they were doing with the football yesterday. So he was flying high yesterday. It was, it's fun when you see your kids enjoy a sport and have some success at it. He was very excited. He was excited to go back to camp today. And
you told him can't make the team in the tub. Like again, I told you too about the sleds. Like, is he out there like getting the full training camp?
Yeah, he's ready for it.
Yeah,
I can't. When I got there, all the other kids had left. He was at the park doing chin-ups on one of those chin-up things.
Half cut jersey.
He's ready to go.
Midriff
He had eye paint on.
Yeah.
Like, my God, what's going on here? But yeah, no, he was pretty excited about it. So
hats and harnesses today.
Summer of camp continues for Marshall Bokeith. He's loving it.
Tossing touchdowns, catching touchdowns. He's all the full bit.
Yeah. I said, well, how was your touchdown pass? Like, tell me about it. He goes, the guy's pretty close to me, so just sort of flipped it to him.
Oh,
I said, well, whatever. Touchdown pass is a touchdown pass.
He's got to do the Nelson Muntz. I think he could do it. He's got the talent.
Speaking of touchdown passes, just after 7 o'clock today, is it time to start Trey Ford? Let's have this conversation because their defense actually played well in that last game.
They showed up. And again, when the Ottawa Red Blacks are scoring 20 points against you, I do believe you should be in the Canadian Football League probably winning those games.
Well, and when you're getting the ball, how many times did they get the ball in great field position and just could not do anything with it?
And finally, McLeod Bethel-Thompson and has his stinker, statistics-wise.
Well,
I know a lot of people have had their issues situationally with him in the past. He's been putting up some good numbers from a fantasy point of view, but he had his stinker. And the complaining after the game, the short week, the injuries as well. With that short, like Achimpong went down, they had a few guys.
Well, we'll get into all of that.
Bad couple weeks.
I think there's a couple of ways you can make a case to actually switch it up at the quarterback position this week. I don't think they will. We can kind of start the conversation there. I don't think they will. But I think there's a conversation to be had. So we'll certainly get into that. If you want to chime in on it, hit us up in the Parachuters inbox at 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. It is the Nielson Show presented to you by Southport Chevrolet. If you're looking for a truck, they're your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s and heavy duties, www.southportchev.com. Cool Bet Hotline of the day coming up. Weekly confessions. Josh Lemberg's going to pop by. We'll start to set up that Olympic basketball tournament. How legitimate a shot does Canada have? And we will also determine the draft order. I keep saying draft order, but our selection of where we will pick our spot in the draft order. We'll start the process of determining the draft order for Thursday's movie prop draft. Going to be great to have the commish, Quinn Phillips, in the house on Thursday. She says she's got a surprise for us.
Yeah.
I hope it's some sort of treat, but I think it's probably some sort of punishment in the draft, which will be interesting. The Wannick,
she'll be earning
cackling around the corner.
She'll be earning her pay for this one, though, because there's a lot of there's already a few controversies I can tell popping up on the page.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
20-round draft, man. This is going to be a big one.
Yeah.
Let's get this is sports update for Green Plan right now with Lieutenant Eric. We'll have the quarterback conversation on the Elks. Is it time And, they mixed him in briefly in awkward situations last week. I don't know. What do we do here?
On the diamond last night, the Riverhawks with a 2-run ninth inning on way to a 5-4 victory over Nanaimo, taking the opener of that 3-game set. Game 2 scheduled to go tonight. Weather permitting, we will have it for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage getting underway at 7. The Hawks 5-5 in their last 10. They sit a game and a half back of top spot in the North. Prospects in action tonight. They're up in Fort McMurray in Western Canadian League play. Blue Jays host the Rays to kick off a 3-game set. MLB's trade deadline falling next Tuesday. Jose Barrios will get the start tonight. First pitch, 7:07. Miami over Memphis, 120-118 in overtime as the Heat capture their first Summer League championship. Closer to home, the second-place Stingers will wrap up their CEBL regular season at home to Winnipeg next Monday. Elks back home. They'll host the Ticats Sunday afternoon. Week 8 in the CFL will kick off Thursday for Montreal between the Alouettes and Rough Riders. Sports Update brought to you by Green Plan, providing you with award-winning environmental planning and consulting service. Whether it's municipal, industrial, or residential, plan it right with Green Plan. Visit green-plan.com or give them a call, 780-455-4292.
Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry. Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry.
No!
That is a hell of a thing for you to say to me.
You tell him I'm coming, and hell's coming with me, you hear? Hell's coming with me!
Skin that smoke wagon and see what happens.
Oh, dude. I'm your huckleberry.
Oh, what's going on, everybody? It is Tombstone Tuesday on the Nielson Show. Thank you very much for being here today. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox at 780-218-9999. Let's give that box a good old-fashioned pounding today. The Nielson Show is brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Go see Daniel and his team out there at South Fort Chev. They've got that employee pricing until the end of July. You're going to want to take advantage of that. And if you tell them we sent you, they're going to give you a nice little deal on the accessories, 15% off accessories on your new truck. Employee pricing, save up to $18,000 on select models out at South Fort Chev. 780-218-9999. We're coming at you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen studio today. We'll get to a few more of your text messages. But the Edmonton Elks winless once again. This time it was their offense that sucked the big one. Defense kind of held in tight there against the Ottawa Red Blacks. You've now dropped back-to-back games against the Red Blacks. Now a Red Blacks team that is sitting second in the East.
Yeah.
But I mean, the last two wins coming against Edmonton, so I don't know how much
I keep
stock
going back to the beginning of the season. You had that gauntlet of 4 teams. You had the bye week, and you're thinking, okay, a home and home with Ottawa, maybe this is an opportunity to set things straight. Nothing against Ottawa, but again, compared to those teams that you faced earlier.
But now we're going to say the same thing about Hamilton, right?
I
It's
know,
like,
but
the
this,
one-win tie
it keeps going and going and going. So, I mean, that's why I said, you could say the past couple years or whatever, a handful of years have been bad for the Elks, but these 2 weeks especially, just in the fashion and the ways they've lost, I mean, this could have provided you a bit of a rope to kind of climb out of the hole, winning at least one against this Red Blacks team, who, again, I credit where credit's due, but the 500-yard game by Brown, 300-yard receivers, and then you go into this one in Ottawa where, again, they put up 20 points. You're thinking, well, this is something that you could probably salvage, new coach bump or whatever you want to call it, but points left on the field by Beattie. You mentioned defense actually showing up, injuries, and McLeod Bethel-Thompson now had his, that's his stinker game too in terms of stats and everything else. So football, at least if you get 2 of the 3 phases going, you're setting up to win, right?
Yeah.
Or putting yourself in position. But again, another loss, 6 points now, and field goals, and it's right there. As I was talking to Maddie last night, if they're losing 56-0, at least that's a little more. You're getting stomped, whatever.
Yeah.
But this is just.
Well, if Beattie hits his kicks, they win this football game.
Absolutely. So therein lies your difference. Last week, what's it going to be this week?
Well, to me, you bring in Beatty, you bring in MBT. These guys are your big offseason acquisitions. They haven't helped you get a win yet. You have to start holding some of them accountable for especially for Beatty's case.
Season generally has.
Well, first of all, they haven't committed to the run game at all.
No.
And I'm not sure their offensive line
can handle a run game.
Can handle the run game right now. I've been hesitant to say go to Trey Ford because I don't necessarily think all of a sudden they're going to win 3 of the next 4 games if Trey Ford's their quarterback. And I don't think it's just play driven. But I respect an athlete and their honesty with the media. And MBT certainly shared his thoughts after the last game. But to me, it almost came off as an unhinged rant.
Yeah.
And it looked like a guy who might need to sit for a week. And by the way, when you have another guy that's won games in the Canadian Football League, he seemed to not be very composed after this most recent loss. And I think that's the first time I was like, you know what? They haven't won a game yet. The fans want to see more of Trey Ford. MBT looks like he's lost his composure after the last game. Maybe now is the time. You get the Ticats rolling in who, like the Elks, don't have a great defense. I mean, it could be a nice spot to sneak Trey Ford in here and give him a game to maybe get ramped up here against one of the weaker sisters, also in the Canadian Football League.
Yep. It's his hometown team, however much stock.
If you want to
chalk that up on the list as well, whatever.
But to me, it looked like MBT became a little bit unraveled after that last game, and I think because of that, you could justify saying, "Hey, look, man, sit down for a bit." You can even give him that old stupid conversation of,
whatever.
We're just going to give Trey a look for a game. Sit down. You're still our guy. But I didn't like the way he reacted last game.
But again, and Rick Lawlisher was on the show, and I do believe that you can have 2 quarterbacks going and keep everybody happy. But I think you're right. I mean, judging by his rant, albeit justified, I guess, in his thought. I mean, I get what he's saying there, but I don't think a short week now is defining your 0-6 record. I mean, let's pump the brakes here. So, and again, I think coming home now, you're playing again Hamilton, a team that they got their win, but kind of the defense is porous. And to get a bit of a pop for the fan base, maybe you go back to them because now you're 0-6. That continues on. You're going to have to find new and creative ways to kind of get people out aside from the winning and losing. So maybe Trey Ford, starting provides a bit of a pop and gets the fans' attention in a sense, but I don't think that he's coming with a cape on and a big S on the chest saving the day here. There's other issues.
I agree with that. I think it's like you have to do something.
Yeah, you got to shake it up. But maybe a few people would have Faithful replacing Beatty as well in that position. It's a team littered with talent.
There's also a conversation for that.
You can make lots of changes, and I think G. Roy also mentioned that he'll start tinkering and tweaking here or there. But
but how much can you tweak?
I know mid-season
in many leagues. Let alone the Canadian Football League. Like, I think that's going to be a tough spot to get into as well. 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Do you think it would help at all? That's a simple question for you today. Do you think it would help at all if the Elks decided to start Trey Ford this week? I don't think it's going to happen. I'd be shocked if it does. But do you, as a fan base, think it would help? 780-218-9999, or you can hit us up in the nasty chat as well, and we can get to some of your reaction over there. If
you're getting pulverized again, it's you know what you are here. But
Menopause Nicholson says it was time to play Trey Ford on week 1 of the season. So I had a lot of time for bringing in the veteran quarterback. We'll see how it goes. I thought it was tough when MBT has talked about how he wants to work with Trey and he wants to help develop Trey and he wants to leave the organization in a good spot. And then when he was asked after the last game what it's like coming out, and he goes, "It sucks."
Yeah.
I'm like, well, wait a second here. Like, are you all in?
Well, that's what I'm saying too.
What's the deal here?
There's got to be a conversation where it's not, you're getting pulled and that's it. Like, again, you can have 2 guys playing. Why does it suck if everybody in the room should be signing off on it, right? Like that type of thing.
Yeah.
It's coming from the top.
Frustrating times for sure. With that being said, I know my wife and kids are excited to go to the game on Sunday.
Can't
We'll
wait.
have the Edmonton Sports Talk tailgate. You guys going to bring more water and more sunglasses and maybe even more chips this time, Trevor?
I believe that would be the plan because they didn't last at all.
No.
So,
People love free stuff.
yeah. And then we were at the game last night, obviously playing cornhole, and Maddie and I we really want to get going on a little cornhole sesh.
Yeah.
I think that would be fun.
That would be good. Got to get some custom made cornhole like with the EST logo on it.
I think it'd be cool if Zach was face painting.
His own face?
Anybody's.
Zach face painting would be quite the
Hey, can I draw on your
Just
face?
butchering kids.
It's so fun.
It's a lion.
It's so fun watching Zach
It's
grow
a
up.
nightmare. 28 degrees Sunday, so
28.
We're back, baby.
All right, and hopefully the smoke's a little bit better by then, and
Man, I
man,
can't.
that'd be a real nice. That's almost. I could deal with 28. You know, I can suck it up with 28 for a bit.
Because your boy Eddie there from TSN had the tweet too about the tailgate. Eh? I mean, it was just
Edster
it
loves
was
the tailgate.
pumping last week or the week before the last week. Why not give the few fans left what they want? Play Trey.
Yeah, that comes to the Parachuters inbox today. A couple over on the Nasty Chat. Penner's Pancake says, I think maybe an extra 3,000 people would show up to watch him. Kind of like when the Oilers were terrible, but fans showed up to watch Young, Hall, and Eberle. And the losers in it says, I doubt he lost his composure all week, though, right? Like by Sunday, it was on to next week. So I doubt he's still unraveled, as you put it. That's a fair point. Like he would be more composed to start the week, back to work and all that stuff. But at the same point, you could tell he was unhinged after the last game.
He ain't whistling on his way to work, shall we say? Hey, at this stage,
yeah. They won't. They'll stick with MBT. It's gonna sound crazy. I'll say it. I do think they win against Hamilton, but I've been wrong like 3 times this year. But what's the purpose of Trey Ford then? You know, what purpose does he serve here? The whole, let's give him a series. 2 out. Okay, well, whatever. Then.
yeah.
And
I know.
it's just like
Amish Man 19 at this point could it hurt? I don't know if he got to that one, but I guess you're saying like
no, we didn't get to that one. But yeah,
when
you're
else?
right.
Like,
well, that's the thing. You're 0-6.
yeah.
0-6.
Like the 0-3 times, you're like, oh, okay, well maybe we'll
like
see.
if you go to McCall Bethel Thompson and say, hey man, we're gonna start Trey this week, and he goes, what? Why?
well,
You're 0-6. Okay. You know, like how can you possibly push back in that situation? You haven't been able to deliver a win with a football team. There's no it's okay. You make whatever decision you want, I think. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999, changing 100. We got there. That's nice to see. How about this? Tell me last night you got an air conditioner.
yeah. What are you going to buy, Trev, if we change 200?
Nothing. Nothing. I mean, if we don't change 300, though, he's fired. Hammer the thumbs up on YouTube if you want Trev to have a job tomorrow. Hammer the thumbs up. That would be great.
Yeah,
you gonna install that air conditioner
Today's the day.
Today's the day.
I needed plywood to get it. Well, I guess I thought I needed to get it fit in there. Apparently, that's not why you need plywood for, or why? Yeah, what you need plywood for. So, today's the day. I got to go to Home Depot, get that plywood, get it sorted out, and then finally have that AC. And I can't wait.
You're gonna love that, buddy.
I'm absolutely gonna love that.
All because of the thumbs up over on YouTube.
I just want to say I wasn't begging for it. I didn't want it. I want to make that very clear. Glue guy is just being glue guy, and it was a beauty move. It was.
Pender's Pancake says the heat wave will be over by the time YouTube Trev installs it.
Well, you're going to get it
you'll be nice.
Thursday 19 in showers. You'll be, but no, it's going to pipe back up Saturday, so we're back up into the high 20s. So you'll be feeling fine there. How about this text message from Vaughn Thompson? Paint Zach's face on the cornhole board and have the beanbags look like cheeseburgers.
There's lots of things I think we could do in that situation.
Yeah.
We're going to get to your Cool Bet hotline of the day coming up. We do have people guessing what Quinn's surprise is going to be.
Yeah.
The commish.
A pleasant
she,
surprise.
when she
or,
rolls
right?
in.
You said you made a punishment, maybe, eh?
Well, I
Maybe
think...
it's- You're surprised. You think it's a positive thing, but you're thinking maybe it's...
Oh, no. I thought for sure it's a negative thing.
For sure.
Like, I'd be very... It's not like she's going to roll in and be like, check it out, I got Timbits for everybody. Like, I feel there's going to be something of significance coming down the pipe here from Quinn.
Veggie tray.
Now, we had some good guesses on it. 780-218-9999. This one's great. Maybe Quinn bought the Indiana Jones hat just for the draft.
Wow.
Can you imagine that? I don't know how much she makes at her new job, but I don't know if she's able to roll in with a $500,000 movie prop.
Some line of credit there.
That would be pretty good. Bones is in and says Quinn's surprise is that she switched to natural rock salt deodorant. That's you got that going for you as well.
Sweaty.
What other surprise? Oh, she's gonna be sweaty.
She's gonna be.
By the way, that being said, didn't you say Thursday's like?
No, we'll be fine. Yeah, but it might be a
perfect.
little humid with the moisture. Right? Like
It's kind of nice in here today.
Oh yeah,
It's been working.
AC's been working good here.
pretty well. All right, but let's get our order for the draft order. All right, let's figure out who's going to have first crack at picking where they want to pick. Now, Rick, if you get the first overall pick here, or you get to choose, would you take first overall, or would you take the 4-5 swing, a classic spot to be in?
4-5 swing would be nice, but I think first you do get that snake as well.
You get the 8-9 snake.
And I think we've been talking a loose talk as we do, but I haven't even put up the tweet yet. But I do think we're all kind of going at first overall if one of us were to land there. So yeah, I would take it.
You really?
I'd take one because you get benefit of the snake. I think you're still.
So you think there's a clear cut number one pick? Like I have not dove into prep yet.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Really?
But I think 4-5 is not. 4-5 is great too. Like this thing is so packed. But I have identified it first overall. So I would take the first overall.
What the? So. A clear cut first overall. I guess maybe once I sit down and start to put together a list, it'll become apparent to me too.
I think you've said it. I think we've all kind of said it. But again, we haven't really dove into this too much, like in depth. So
Indiana Jones hat?
No.
DeLorean from Back to the Future?
I will say no more. Gag order, but
tell me.
Yeah, I'm taking one. I don't really care about the seating. The seating position, is that so important now? Anyway, it was important at a time. Back before Christmas, I guess.
Yeah,
I sit me anywhere for this one.
Trev, would you prefer a seat for a draft in there? What do you think? Like where? Because if you wanted,
like
you could choose
I
where-
would be
the corner
first.
seats. Yeah,
I would be first. Is that what you're talking about?
No, but you.
The
remember,
chair?
you could also pick where you sit.
Oh.
We'll all pick where we sit.
Oh, I don't think that. No.
sometimes when you're in the middle, it gets all hot. People are looking over.
I
and
like
you're kinda
being
on
paired
the
next to
edges.
you.
Yeah.
I like being paired next to you. Some natural draft chemistry with Rick and I, right? So
I love it.
I don't want to
good
be.
banter.
I guess I don't want glue guy to my right. I'll take a seat next to Tommy because you could real rattle Tommy. In
Actually,
the draft,
that's
I think.
yeah.
It'd be good. Wouldn't take much. All right. Well, let's. Okay. So are we gonna spin? I think we mixed it up now, right? So whoever gets spun first here will have first choice of it all.
Yeah, your pick or your seat.
So it's your pick or your seat. All right. So this is for the first pick of the picks. Trev.
Gentlemen, are you ready?
Yeah,
Spin that
all right.
wheel.
Let's spin the wheel.
Spin
that wheel. All right,
And here we go.
let's see.
Here we go.
Oh, we got the sound. We're gonna hit that clap, aren't we?
Is there a clap? No way.
Oh, Gazzola again. All right.
It was going for you there too.
Move, Tommy. Get out of here, Tommy.
right.
Get out of here.
All right, Tommy will have first choice of where he wants to pick in this draft. Do you think Gazzola goes 4-5 swing? He's had some success in the 4-5 swing.
I could see that.
I could see it. All right, let's spin it again. Spin that wheel.
Oh,
Come on, get there. Go.
that's it.
That's blue.
That's
That's
blue,
bad.
Dusty.
Dusty.
Not bad.
Dusty.
Get
Man, that kept going, didn't it?
out of here, Dusty.
All right, so I'll have second choice. All right, comes down to Glue Guy
This
and
sucks.
Lieutenant Eric.
That's where LT's always
Wow,
allowed.
you rattled, eh? Oh, man. All right, here we go. You're going to already start the hashtag. Justice. for
Wow.
LT.
Starts here.
All right,
Parson.
spin that wheel.
Ew.
Poor LT. Oh.
It's you, Rick.
Oh.
Yay.
It's you, Rick. All right,
LT,
you'll
you're
pick
third.
You'll pick third.
Great.
Good
All
job,
right, and
buddy.
then Glue Guy he'll end up wherever we go. So this will be interesting. This will be interesting now because
And
Well, I wonder where you and Tommy go. Are you in your spot? Would you right now say, and depending what Tommy picks, but are you looking at seat? Or are you looking at pick? Or what's kind of?
I honestly think if Tommy takes first pick, I think I might go 4-5 swing.
Great idea. Yeah. You want one of the ends. You want one
I
of the
think
ends.
I
in
think
this.
I want one of the ends. I don't see. Now I guess we'll pick this throughout the day. I haven't done the prep yet properly, so I just don't like. If you think there might be a high number 1, I think after that it would open up.
After
Like,
that, it opens up.
yeah.
There's not like a podium. I think there's a 1, but as I said, like there is so much in here. Even 2 and 3 spot. Like I know this, you're kind of in the middle there, but there should be more than enough to pick from. It's just again debating.
I like being able to control things at the swing.
Yes,
Right. It's nice to know. Okay,
and you
well,
can
I'll
do a
take
lot of
these two
damage.
here,
You can do a
like-
lot of damage in the swing. I think with a lot of, but again, there should be more than enough here. It's just
What we've realized doing these drafts over the years is that the 4-5 swing's a sexy spot. Getting the first pick and then the 8-9 snake back at the other end's a nice spot. And then if Tommy's in a 4-5 swing, it's nice to be the 2 picks around Tommy. Because Tommy's drafted better lately, but for the longest time, Tommy would do something that kind of blew you. Like, Tommy's going to take something from Ghostbusters.
there's a glimmer of hope there. Yeah,
Like,
that
I would not be surprised if he says, I'm taking the first overall pick and I'm taking a Proton pack. If that wouldn't surprise me. Because I'm going to threaten to make sure that it doesn't get back to him, just to rattle him. I could see that happening. So
That's definitely the play.
yeah, I don't know. Maybe if Tommy goes 1, maybe I take 2, and then I have the catbird seat around Gazzola at the other.
Well,
end.
then you hit him with the Ghostbusters. I hope he takes 1 because he will make a mockery out of that position. Boy, this is exciting. I love the wheel.
I'm starting. Yeah,
I
the
gotta
wheels.
take. I think I'll be taking seats though, depending on whatever you guys choose to do there. I think I'll be looking at.
Instead of picking your pick, you're going to pick a seat.
Well, because you're
It's
gonna
never
pick-
been done.
You're gonna Tommy's gonna pick probably 1, right?
Yeah.
You're probably gonna pick.
I'll
the
probably
swing.
take 4-5 swing.
What do I care about?
So you're not going to worry about the 2-3.
2-3, who cares?
You'll take your chair first.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think by that
interesting.
spot, depending on what you and Tommy choose to do, but it's very the strategy even with the wheel involved. Screw the draft, but it's everything prior to it.
That's exciting. I'm fired up for this draft. It's been too long since we had a draft.
I confess, I'm really excited.
Save your confessions. That's not till after 7:30.
Spectrum Rental in, by the way.
Yeah, I see that there. This is going to be
Oh, baby.
This is going to be really good. Really good. Tube Socks is in and says Quinn's going to be announcing that she's stepping down as commissioner to make way for new commissioner. Well, who's going to be the new commissioner though? What? What are you
Do you
talking
have
about?
somebody lined up?
Tube Socks, I can't read the rest of that text. You know that. Will Lieutenant Eric walk out during this draft again? That's in from Mikey.
This isn't staged. This
You can't
isn't planned
you can't
stuff.
do that all the time.
No, and look, but if it gets off the rails and
Man, I got to say this. Using the wheel is fun. We should use wheel more often.
well, the applause, the colors, the
I'm trying
everything.
to think. If you have other ideas on what we could use the wheel for, send them over, man. Let's 780-218-9999. Other ideas for use of the wheel. There's got to be something we could do during the hockey season for the use of the wheel.
Who's Smash this week?
Who gets to dress up as Smash at the Nasty
And it's
Bash?
just Zach. And it's Spencer.
Just Zach's got the 4 names on there. Oh my God, Zach's got it again. What a lucky guy. This is terrific. All right, let's get into your Coolbet Canada hotline of the day. If you've not yet signed up for an account at Coolbet, please do so. When you sign up, you get a 100% deposit bonus on your initial deposit, up to 200 smackaroos. I dropped a Coolbet hotline or a Coolbet lock shot play of the day yesterday on their social feeds, and we got it. We got it. It was the
Cha-ching.
Pirates on the money line. They ended up squeaking one out 2-1. That's another very summer sentence.
Well, they're right thick smack dab in that wild card battle that Gabe Locks was talking about yesterday. So, did you catch any of that poop game as well with the Pirates and the Phillies and the score 0-0 and the
Oh no!
that was over the weekend. The series was.
Oh, what a hilarious
Great.
what a hilarious thing to have happen, eh? Oh, summer, am I right? All right, what are we looking at today on the Major League? Well, first of all, wait a second here. CFL odds are up for the week.
Yeah, okay.
Interesting. Stampeders 1-point favorites on the road in Ottawa.
0-3 on the road. Hey, 3-0 at
3-0
home.
at home,
0-3
yeah.
on the road.
Argos are a 1-point favorite at home against the Blue Bombers, and the Edmonton Elks 2.5 point. The Elks are 0-6 and are 2.5 point favorites at home against the Ticats, who only have 1 win. But it is insane to think that an 0-6 team who just lost back-to-back games to the Red Blacks is still a favorite at home.
They're talented. They have talent on the
That's,
team. 20-14 was the score, right? And the kicker, that's
Jeez.
But that Hamilton defense, that'll be something to watch. And maybe a bit of a shootout Sunday afternoon / evening. I'd like Toronto as well to correct things, I think, at home, dropping Winnipeg to 2-6. That'd be huge.
Oh, man.
Coming off that loss to Hamilton, you know Toronto's going to fix things at home.
Can you imagine if the Bombers lose to the Argos? Edmonton beats Hamilton. Edmonton's 2 points behind Winnipeg.
I'm telling you, this
My
is the
God.
CFL, baby. I think
That's
Jake
a
Mayer
wild
said
one.
it. Yeah.
Cool bet hotline of the day today. Let's go. Houston Astros -135 on the road against Oakland. Astros losing 4-0 yesterday.
Good.
Classic bounce back spot here.
Them and the Mariners neck and neck for that AL West crown here.
Yeah.
So
No, this is a big one here for Houston. So Houston -135 for your cool bet hotline of the day. Houston Astros on the road against Oakland -135 money line favorites. If you like them on the run line, it's -1.5 at +123. The total in that game is set at 8.5. But -135, Houston Astros. That'll be your cool bet hotline of the day. If you'd like to ride with us, you can do it over at coolbet.com. People are suggesting we use that wheel for line combinations. That would be pretty fun, actually. You spin the wheel, you put all of the 12 forwards' names up there, and then you do the first line. So you spin it, and you see, you know what, let's do that tomorrow. What else are we
why not?
gonna do
Dog
tomorrow?
days of summer.
Tomorrow will determine who did the line combinations yesterday.
Gager gave us some defensive pairings as well. Stetcher season. He's got he had a little Troy Stetcher in there, did he not? What else was Gager throwing
did he
down?
have
Did he have any
out?
other?
What did I miss?
Stetcher and Nurse.
He had Kane in the forward group.
It was Connor McDavid, Skinner,
Yeah,
Hyman.
Skinner up top.
Nuge, Draisaitl, and Arvidsson. Third line was...
It was Holloway centering between Perry and Kane.
That
is it
was the
not?
fourth line.
Whoa.
That was fourth
Whoa.
line.
Yeah.
And then it was Henrique, Janmark, and Brown, the third line.
Kept them together.
It was that
Yeah.
weekend behind the bench that really got to his
Oh,
head.
yeah,
He was
Mr.
just-
Coach. Unbelievable. Gager, I think Gager's still going to join us around 8:30 today. Might as well. I mean, I know he's been on the show for the last couple shows, but I'd like to talk to him.
Well, the racing has been
miss
fantastic as
Gager.
well. Exactly.
Racing has been great. It's awesome watching Max Verstappen completely completely implode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You want to talk about MBT going off, like the radio, and then the thing with we had Harini on yesterday.
Max has to be the biggest whiner in all of sports.
Harini was on yesterday doing that whole thing between him and Hamilton where he braked and going into the turn and everything. But the whole Piastri Norris thing, letting him win and all this, and
That
it's
was,
on. Like
it was a lot of fun. It was a really fun race to watch. All right, we've got weekly confessions coming up. What do you need to confess? Get it off your chest. All right, it's the middle of the summer. All right, there's probably things you have to confess. You've been on family vacations, you've been at the lake, or your boss isn't giving you the time off. Like whatever. What do you got? 780-218-9999. 780-218-9999. Nasty Bash is coming up this Friday. If you'd like to join us, St. Albert Rugby Club, Friday night. Email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com. There's still a few spots in this bad boy. Email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com if you would like to join us. We have a major announcement that we'll be making at the Nasty Bash on Friday. It'll be a monumental moment for Edmonton Sports Talk.
people are going to say years, where were you on that momentous day? Oh, I was there. Like you want to be there. That's one of those things you want to be there.
100%.
Need to be there.
We're not overselling it either.
No.
It's a big one. You're going to want to be there for this. Friday night. St. Albert Rugby Club. Email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com if you want to have a good time with our crew.
Just that sentence. Email Matt at Edmonton Sports Talk if you want to have a good time. What are we doing?
He's
here?
flying high after
2024,
yesterday.
hey?
Flying high after yesterday.
Sauerkraut.
All right, let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric. Confessions on the other side. Josh Lewenberg on the upcoming basketball Olympic tournament. We'll do that around 7:45.
Edmonton Riverhawks with a 2-run ninth as they defeat Nanaimo 5-4, taking the opener of that 3-game set last night down at Remax. Game 2 scheduled to go tonight. Coverage will start at 7 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. The Hawks are 5-5 in their last 10. They sit a game and a half back of top spot in the division. Prospects also in action tonight. They'll visit Fort McMurray in Western Canadian League play. Jay is back on the diamond. They host the Rays to start a 3-game set. Jose Barrios gets the start. First pitch, 7:07. On the hard court, Miami over Memphis 120-118 in overtime as the Heat capture their first Summer League championship. Stingers, they will wrap up their CEBL regular season schedule at home to Winnipeg next Monday. Elks back home to host the Ticats Sunday afternoon. Week 8 in the CFL will kick off Thursday for Montreal between the Alouettes and Riders. Sports Update brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and Mitch Lewicki, where he confesses that he once drove a Chevy.
If you're like me, you like to picture yourself in luxury, even though there's absolutely no way you could afford it. And if you can, well, even better. Thankfully, I picture myself in something that is luxury, but still absolutely affordable, like the all-new Mazda CX-90 from Park Mazda. With the new luxury features like facial recognition settings and quilted detail Napa leather seating, I can pretend to be comfortable with all of my proper settings activated without even touching a button, thanks to Mitch Lewicki and the great staff at Park Mazda. I like to picture Mitch Lewicki as a ninja fighting off evil samurai.
Park Mazda, your dealer for life in Sherwood Park off Y Road, parkmazda.ca.
And you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton Elks. They have a great receiving corps, but now you got to get the defense to stop a few plays here and there so you can win a damn football game. For real, for real, for real. The fan base wants a win, so let's get out there and do it, do it, do it. Let's get out there and get the Elk to win the Grey Cup. Celebrate with the boys with the 6 o'clock dog. For real, for real, for real. For real, for real, for real. Let's go Elks.
In case you missed it, that was dropped earlier this morning. Jonty and Victoria with the Atif Jarius Jackson remix. That's a thing on the show now. Josh Lemberg is going to join us in about 10 minutes' time. It is the Nielson Show presented to you by Southport Chevrolet, where they've got that employee pricing on select models right now. Save up to $18,000. Your drive is their passion. Go see Daniel and his team out at Southport Chevrolet. They will look after you. 10109 89th Ave. Visit their website at www.southportchev.com. 3 questions too many. Kind of easy trivia. Coming up just after 8 o'clock today as well. But let's get into Weekly Confessions, brought to you by Spectrum Rental, where they confess to missing last week's confession because they're up all night celebrating the Chris Jones news. Rent a stump grinder and remove the unsightly stumps from your yard. A stump grinder as opposed to a picker-upper. That's interesting.
Hey, how's the old hoop going? Okay.
I haven't got her done yet.
No progress on that.
No progress. I guess. So the stump grinder. So the stump stays deep down in the ground, and you just grind it right down to the top. Is that
yeah?
Because there would be a difference, right? There'd be another thing that you could use to probably grab the whole stump and rip it out. But a stump grinder would probably take it down like you don't even know it's there anymore, right? Interesting. Can you imagine me walking into Spectrum Rental? I'm just like, what is going on in here with all these various tools?
What aisle are your picker-uppers?
Excuse me, I need one of those claw ground, a ground grabber. What are you doing here? Yeah. I'm trying to remove dirt.
What are you doing here?
Yeah,
are you in the right
Who
store?
the hell
sir?
are you all of a sudden? Sorry, I'm at the wrong place. That's a tough one. All right, The Godfather. I've got a confession.
That's good.
During the golf tournament, we were playing behind Commissioner Quinn on numerous holes while she was distracted. I was putting my empty beer cans in her golf bag.
I can see the Godfather now. Eh?
How does the Godfather sneak
Cackling.
around?
Yeah.
He's not technically a sneak around guy.
No, he's not a fleet of foot individual, but I can see him giggling though.
Quinn probably, she's golfed since then, so she would open up and be like, what the heck are all these cans doing in here? That's a good one.
You think she'd notice?
Yeah, she'd notice. She would notice that for sure. I'm sure we'll get a text at some
Just
point.
another game for
what
Quinn.
The hell?
Just another round.
How'd that happen? All right, what are you confessing today?
Well, I mean, where is it here? I didn't really want to get into this, but this
Is this
segment,
a fantasy confession?
This segment does breed from fantasy football, does it not? Fantasy sports.
What
and
did you do
otherwise.
now?
Well, I didn't do anything. I lost by. Hello, my name is Eric, and I want to pull up the numbers here. I lost this past week 59.19 to 59.04.
Are you serious?
Yes.
You got to run who'd you play?
0.15 points. Commissioner Matt Iwanek.
Okay, no way.
He's told me he's ran. You know what he said too? We initiated the.
You guys had horrible lineups.
Well,
this
we
week.
put in the Rouge
Yeah,
this
yeah.
season. And I think that's what was
You
my
didn't
ultimate
lose on a
undoing.
Rouge,
I
did
think
you?
it was my ultimate undoing here. He's
You
ran the
should
numbers.
double check those numbers on your own.
He ran
buddy.
the numbers 3, 4, 5 because he goes, I know how this looks, and you're playing. I said, do the numbers, run it back.
What were the number? What was it?
59.19 to 59.04. I am like the Elks. I am finding new inventive ways to lose. I think I had a pretty good.
59.04? What are you guys getting 04 for?
Shea Patterson I had 17.94. That was great. I had Bo Leave on my bench, so that was the play there. Maybe could have had Keen Schaefer-Baker. And Nick Dembski is like a boat anchor
killing
right now.
us right now.
And
Yeah,
but
Dembski
I know when I go away from him,
I know.
he's going to hit. So Sean White, again, he's money. He's been my Mr. Consistency all year long, both in reality and fantasy. Obviously, as you know, he's been perfect. But yeah, I can't get the combination right. And now with Cody Fajardo going down, I don't know if that Montreal defense is still going to be as staunch as it was with him out of the picture. I just got to keep on
So
trucking.
what's your record now this year?
1-6. But I'm two games back in playoff spot. This doesn't end anytime soon. Again, I've been there. I'm in the heat. I'll put up monster points and
Man,
lose.
how can you not get it done in this league? Like it's
frustrating.
I even liked your draft this year and everything. It's just
frustrating?
Like,
It's getting the
wild.
combinations right. And again, my bench has
I
been
can't
playing
believe you
really
lose
well.
to McCord.
59. Well, to Iwanek. To Iwanek.
No, but I mean overall.
Oh, I've been losing everybody. Yeah,
Well,
it's-
it kills me, it pains me to see you lose to Scott McCord in a CFL fantasy.
BS. Between that and the bank, it's been a.
I don't know what you. I don't. I think you guys should have an independent person look at the stats.
It's worth a
that's
shot.
Really
what else do I have
close.
to lose? I'll bring in Trey Ford. He can look at the numbers.
Yeah.
59.19, 59.04. That hurts.
I've lost
It's
2 in a
also
row.
confession.
I'm 4-3 right now.
Okay, well, you're coming back down.
I started
to earth,
4-1, but now I'm 4-3.
Who's kind of is anybody running away right now, or is it kind of still tight at the top?
No. I don't think we have. I don't think we have a 6-1. So it's still relatively close.
I'm DMing people from like CFL.ca. Just randomly and
I
talking to them
ended up-
about
I think
fantasy,
I ended up-
and they don't get back to me. This Christina Costabile, I sent her a
Oh, yeah,
message.
yeah,
She won't reply. I think we've kind of hit a nerve with that fantasy talk, but hopefully that means maybe something's in the mix. But
here's one of my. I guess my
because I
confession
still
would
love
tie
the
into
game.
this.
I'm 1-6, but I still love the game.
Ooh, Dylan Mitchell's been put on the trade block in our league. That's interesting. I just want to bring up because I want to see what I lost by this week. So in our league, we do have a 6-1. The Baltimore Stallions are 6-1. The Posse are 5-2. Ooh. My Pirates are 4-3. Then we got a 3-way tie at 2-5. So that's a close one. I lost. I had 91.68 points this week, and I lost 106.5. This was the classic setup where I would have beaten every other team in the league this week, but I ended up losing. Jake Mara got me 24 points. Alexander Holland sucked a big one, 1.7.
It wasn't his week.
Dominique Rhymes got me 8. Reggie Bagleton got me 18.2. Stanback 12.4. Dembski 6.6. And then the Riders D got me 11, and Legio actually got me 9. I lost to Boris Beatty this week. Ugh.
What? Oh
Yeah.
boy.
That's a tough one.
Did start Tavares Daniels. If I'm looking for some sort of good faith, he got the touchdown as well. That was maybe a sly play on my part, but
Here's my other confession: is that I've been talking all year how I want to sit down with Randy Ambrosi and talk about CFL fantasy moving forward. Saw him twice this weekend, including at the airport yesterday. We went through the Nexus line
that's the
together.
time to do it. The
I know.
airport chat.
And I'm sitting there. And we're talking about some other stuff. And then I was like, when are you coming out west again? Because I was just like, maybe next time he comes out, I'll fire him a text and be like, hey, I'd like to meet with you. Yeah. But I should have just brought the conversation up right there, but I panicked. I panicked in the face of the commission. I was like, should I call out fantasy right now and say I'll have to do a better job? And I was like, hey, Randy, well, I'll see you later. And I walked away. So I was very disappointed in myself.
I think maybe while Iwanika's riding this high, he gets Randy in the hangout. 2 hours in there, and Iwanik will set him straight with the fantasy.
We could get that sorted out from a fantasy perspective as well. Yep. Guys, confession, I spent a week complaining about how hot my room was and that I couldn't sleep. When someone bought me an AC unit, I couldn't be bothered to install it. That's a YouTube Trev story right there. That's kind of funny. All right, you can hit us up over in the Nasty Chat if you're watching on YouTube. Sub to the channel. We are closing in on 10,000 subs, just past the 9,500 mark, and we're making a push here towards the 1-year anniversary of EST, and we're going to hit 10,000 before then, I think. If you're watching over there, hammer the thumbs up as well. Give us a sub, and inbox. We're going to get a few more of those as we work our way through hour number 3, but I want to talk some Olympic hoops. As right now, if you go to coolbet.com, let me bring this up because I was looking last week. Let me see, Paris 2024. Paris, eh? Is that how we have to say it the whole time?
Gay Paris.
I'm going to try to find men's basketball because last time I looked, here we are, basketball futures. So taking the U.S. out of it, Canada has the next best odds at plus 205. No, that's to finish top 2. Here, wait a second, winner. So winner without the U.S. Oh, here's the winner overall. Okay, this is good. So the U.S. right now, minus 455. We'll talk about them with Lewenberg. They're 5-0 in the pre-tournament, but there's been some close ones. Canada, 9-1, has the second best odds to win the gold medal in basketball at the upcoming Olympics. Then you've got France at 12-1, but I think France has struggled through pre-tournament action. I could be wrong. Serbia's at 16-1. Germany's at 20-1. Then you get Greece and Australia, who are also in Canada's group, and Spain right there. So 4 of the top 8 are in Canada's group. So let's get into it. Josh Lemberg, who obviously does a great job covering the NBA for TSN. He pops by on the show this morning. Let's bring him in. Lewenberg, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Good. What's up, guys?
Not much. Middle of summer. Thought we'd talk some Olympic hoops with you. And I think it's... We'll get to the American team in just a second. Well, actually, no. Let's start with the American team because, I mean, I don't know. How much stock do you put into pre-Olympic play? Because they look like they might be there for the taking, and when Canada has the second best odds to win it, that should be pretty big news for us. So what have you thought of that group so far?
I probably put more stock into Canada's exhibition games, and even that, like, you take with a grain of salt. But for the U.S., like, they are so stacked, so deep at every position. They've got everything. Like, I mean, even you saw with a guy like Drew Holiday, and when you look at the U.S.'s roster, like Drew Holiday, as great as he is, and just coming off of his second championship, he's not the guy that stands out to you. But in the game against Canada, Drew Holiday shut down Canada's backcourt of Shea and Jamal Murray. And that's the thing is, like, they could go into their bag of tricks and they pull out their bigs, Joel Embiid, when they need them against France, and pull out their guards and their shooting and their defense, and they've got everything. Like, I don't want to throw out the term dream team because I do think, like, the dream team was probably at a different level. At least we've got to wait to see how this team fares in Paris before comparing and contrasting, but this is one of the best international rosters we've ever seen. And I know anything can happen in a tournament like this. All it takes is one off night, and all of a sudden you're knocked out. But I have a really hard time seeing anybody as deep as this tournament is, and as much talent as there is internationally right now. I have a really hard time seeing anybody upsetting this U.S. team.
Okay, so let's dive into Canada here then, because we look at their group right away and we're going, man, this is tough. But then you see how respected this Canadian group is right now. In your opinion, I'm trying not to be a homer with this, but like, in your opinion, does Canada have the second best team in this tournament?
I think that they do, but there's a difference to me between second best team and second best odds. Understanding that, like, after the U.S., like, I think it's pretty balanced between there's probably like 4 or 5 other teams that have a very real shot at ending up on the podium. And once you get past the U.S., you mentioned a bunch of them, like France is really good. Serbia, obviously, with Jokic is really good. Then you've got all 4 teams in this group of death that Canada finds itself in, to where, like, if Canada ends up pushing through it and going to the quarterfinals and making it through to the medal rounds, wouldn't be surprised. But if Canada ends up getting upset early on in this group of death, also wouldn't be shocked. Like, that's just kind of the nature of these tournaments. So, yeah, like, I think they've got a good shot, and I do think they've got the second best team. Obviously, like, if you're looking at NBA talent, Canada for a decade now has had the second most players in the NBA to the U.S. So in that sense, sure, fine. Obviously, the most talented group that the program has ever assembled. But to say, to feel confident betting on them and saying, well, they've got the second best odds, I don't know, not in a tournament like this.
Well, and Josh, you mentioned in your reporting if there is a concern as well in talking about the backcourt, Jamal Murray, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Just your thoughts, Murray, again, limited, precautionary, I guess is the word being tossed around right now, but how do you see those two playing out, and just how much stock do you put into those two driving the success of Canada in this tournament?
Yeah, tons. Like, I don't want to oversimplify things, but if Canada's going to make a run at a medal, like, those two need to be great. It's not good enough for them to be good. They need to be great. That's Canada's strength, is its star backcourt. I don't think their front court is deep enough or big enough. I mean, I will say I was a bit pleasantly surprised by how guys like Dwight Powell and Kelly Olynyk, Trey Lyles in the game the other day looked, but it's going to come down to Shai and Jamal Murray. And I've got to say, like, I'm a little bit concerned after exhibition, and not so much in terms of how they looked. Like, in the game where both of them played together against the U.S., they weren't great. Probably not worth panicking over a game like that, especially, as I mentioned earlier, against a guy like Drew Holiday. What's more concerning is that Murray didn't play at all in the second game, and then he played 7 minutes in the third game, all of which came with SGA on the bench. Those guys going into camp this season, this summer, I should say, had never played together, not once. Murray hasn't played for Canada in almost 10 years. He's one of 3 guys on the roster that wasn't part of that World Cup team last summer. So I do think, like, the whole idea of getting this group together for a month before the Olympics here and getting in these exhibition games was to build chemistry, which is going to be crucial in tournaments. Like, we've seen that before. That's been Canada's undoing when they've had talented teams in the past, is they just haven't had that chemistry and continuity. Most of this group has that. We don't know how Murray is going to fit because we haven't really seen it. I don't know how healthy he is, and obviously that's the big question. Always with Murray is how healthy is he? He didn't look that healthy towards the end of last season, and again, didn't look great against the U.S. I'm not sure how much of it is the contract negotiation. Obviously, he's in the middle of an expensive negotiation with the Nuggets. And I'm not getting a ton of answers, asking people that are down in Paris right now what's going on. It sounds like the idea here is sort of a reconditioning, easing him in sort of thing. They brought him off the bench in Game 3. So I don't know. Is he going to start? I can tell you right now he's not going to play big minutes in the Olympics, but can you even get 20 good minutes out of him? These are things that we won't know until Saturday.
Speaking of their group, I mean, we talked about it earlier right off the top. Canada's got themselves to a place where they certainly belong there, but they're going up against some nations that have been known to have some success in the international basketball at the FIBA level. So when you look within the group, biggest challenge for you, who they got to go through?
Maybe Australia. I do think it's relatively balanced in terms of the other 3 teams. I don't know that they all have their strengths and weaknesses in the sense of, like, if you're talking star power, without a doubt, it's Greece. The best player of those on those 3 teams is Giannis. You can make an argument. I mean, Giannis, Shai, like, those are the best two players in the group. Now, the good news is Canada's perimeter defense is pretty strong. You've got guys like Dylan Brooks, and Lou Dort might be a little small against Giannis, but certainly a guy that's physical enough to really get into him. I would imagine we see Dylan Brooks on him for the most part. But Greece is dangerous because of the star power. Australia is loaded. Like, they've got a ton of NBA talent at every position. Can beat you in a lot of ways, really good offensively, pretty tough defensively as well. And then Spain isn't what it was, but they're the legacy program. They're second ranked in the world, and they've been knocking on the door for a long time, giving the U.S. some trouble. for a long time, and they're well coached. So, yeah, like I don't know that there's an easy out there, and there's almost no room for error once this thing starts for real on Saturday. I mean, if you're going to go on and end up meddling, you've obviously got to those games once you get past the preliminary round are literally must win. There'll be 3 of them if Canada goes on and wins a medal. But even these 3 games in the preliminary round, like maybe you get one game where, okay, off night, you lose a game, and because the top 2 get through as well as a couple of wild card teams, maybe you can get away with 1 loss. But given how tough this group is, maybe you don't even have that. Canada might need to run the table and go 6-0 if they're going to medal.
Josh Lemberg with us from TSN, covers the NBA over there. There's one question over on YouTube says, guys, what is Josh's honest take on Dylan Brooks? He's a guy who drives me nuts, and I try when he was wearing that Canadian jersey. I'm like, okay, he's Canadian, like, but he still drives me nuts.
Have at her, Josh. Say whatever you want.
What is your honest take on Brooks?
No, I love Dylan Brooks. Again, I don't have to play against him, so
yeah, good point.
I'll tell you, I like FIBA Dylan Brooks better than NBA Dylan Brooks because I think like what irks you about players sometimes is the guys that talk the talk and don't always walk the walk. In the NBA, like especially that final playoff series with the Grizzlies, and I think this is where there was some egg on his face. He obviously did a lot of talking and got into it with LeBron, and then when it came down to it, like he didn't play well enough to justify it. But FIBA Dylan Brooks is a whole different animal. Like this, I'm not sure who this guy is, but all of a sudden he puts on the Canada jersey and he's draining threes. He's scoring off the dribble. I mean, defensively, you know what you're going to get from him. But I got to say, like, I was blown away by his defense on Wemby the other day. I mean, like I said, like you put him on a perimeter player, you feel pretty good about the fact that he's going to shut him down. But he's giving up almost a foot on Wemby. He held Wemby to 10 points, really physical with them, right up in his grill. Those are the Dylan Brooks things you expect to see. And for the most part, like, he's toned down the extracurricular stuff. There hasn't been a whole lot of talk, at least so far. We'll see once this thing starts up for real. But, I mean, outside of the 2 guys that we've been talking about, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Jamal Murray, the most important player for this team, the 3rd most important player for this team, I think at this point it's not a hot take going out on a limb to say it's Dylan Brooks.
Yeah, I would agree with you. It would be interesting to see how he comes through this tournament. You mentioned Victor Wembanyama in there, and I know it's been an interesting pre-tournament here for France so far, but on this stage, it'd be very interesting to see how he carries himself against some of these teams, won't it?
For sure, because I don't know how many teams other than the U.S. have guys that you can say comfortably, okay, well, like this is the guy that's going to shut Wemby down. I mean, obviously, as I said, the U.S. is stacked. You've got guys like Anthony Davis, Bam Adebayo, Embiid. You've got a lot of size there. And then you've got France with their 2 bigs in Gobert and Wemby. But outside of that, like that to me is where we talked about the big question with Jamal Murray and whether or not he's healthy. But the other big question I have with Canada is like, do they have the size to deal with teams like the U.S. and like France? Do they have guys that can neutralize somebody like Wemby? It goes a long way, I think, in reassuring us that maybe they do, seeing Dylan go up against him in exhibition. And not just Brooks. Like, I thought Canada's bigs in general did a great job against France. Dwight Powell did a really good job of being physical with Gobert in the same way that he got under Embiid's skin against the U.S. I would say, like, if we're judging Canada based on the exhibition, and all of this is with the usual grain of salt that you have to approach exhibition with, but I would say, like, their strength, we talked about the guard play, wasn't quite as strong as we would have expected, but their weakness didn't look like as big of a weakness as maybe I would have feared. So I do think that Canada's got a real shot of going up against some of these bigs in a way that maybe you wouldn't have expected once guys like Zach Edey dropped out and Tristan Thompson and Brandon Clark weren't on the roster.
Excellent, man. Should be a great tournament. We'll probably check in again at some point. Thanks for the time today.
All right, guys. Anytime. Take care.
There you go. That's Josh Lewenberg. Does a great job covering the NBA and basketball in general for TSN. Good chat with him.
Good to have him back. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's still Lewenberg there. Rip City Step Brooks will have to be great if we want to medal, and that was just echoing off of.
Especially if you're only going to get a banged up Jamal Murray along the way, or a limit.
Yeah.
If you're getting a limited Jamal Murray along the way, nothing against SGA, who's phenomenal.
Yep.
But he can't carry the entire team. Like you're gonna need to have some other guys step
banged up Murray, and I'm glad Josh mentioned too that contract stuff going on with the Nuggets too. I mean, there's a lot of things going on. Mm-hmm. Oh, also you're in Olympic Games.
Juggling hasn't been around the team in a decade either. Like
yeah, it's a lot.
Not an ideal situation there.
But we're all for FIBA Brooks, eh?
No, I still can't stand him.
You still can't.
I don't care. I know it's bad.
Well, he mentioned the LeBron thing, and
Canadian,
you
but
winced, yeah.
He's so annoying. He's so annoying.
He's ours.
He's good at what he does, though. Yeah. He's good at. He's like the Brad Marchand, except Brad Marchand, I think was viewed higher. Was a better player in his respective sport than Brooks is, but we'll need him to play well if Canada's going to have success.
Who's he going to lick?
Oh, somebody. Rip City says Brooks was amazing in the bronze medal win at the World Cup. I mean, he plays well when he puts on the Canadian jersey for sure.
FIBA Brooks.
Drives me nuts still. All right, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. If you're listening on TuneIn or on iHeart or at edmontonsportsuck.com, please just tell your friends about EST. Send our link over to them. That would be great. If you're watching on YouTube today, hammer the thumbs up and sub to the channel. We're at 9.51. We want to get that to a big 10K. So give us a sub if you're watching live or archived a little bit later on. We would appreciate that as well. Nielson Show is brought to you by Southfort Chevrolet. You can check them out at www.southfortchev.com. If you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia right now, we have a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever. Fire us a text. Fire Trev a text, 780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. Fire us a text. Let us know you'd like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today. If you get 3 of the 5 questions correct, you will win a gift certificate to Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual. It's just that easy. Gager, scheduled to pop by around 8:30 today. We're going to get to That Hurts coming up at 8:20 today. 3 questions too many for Park Mazda on the way. And Kind of Easy Trivia just after 8 o'clock to get us going in hour number 3. Once again, 780-218-9999. If you would like to play Kind of Easy Trivia today, let Trev know. He'll call one of you and we'll play a little KOET when we return after a sports update with LTE.
Riverhawks leaving it till late last night. They defeat Nanaimo 5-4, taking the opener of that 3-game set. Game 2 scheduled for tonight, weather permitting. If it does get underway, we'll have it for you here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Coverage starting at 7. The Hawks 5-5 in their last 10. They're a game and a half back of top spot in the North Division. Prospects also back on the diamond tonight. They're up in Fort McMurray. Jays, they'll get set to host the Rays to begin a 3-game set later this evening. Jose Barrios gets the start. First pitch, 7:07. Miami over Memphis, 121-18 in overtime. The Heat capturing their first Summer League championship. Stingers, meanwhile, they'll wrap up the CEBL regular season schedule at home to Winnipeg next Monday. Elks are back home to host the Ticats Sunday. Week 8 in the CFL will kick off Thursday from Montreal between the Owls and Riders. Take your career to the next level with Claiborne Services. They are hiring all positions, including journeyman bricklayers and apprentices of all levels. Take advantage of their outstanding mentorship program. Work with peace of mind, knowing they are an industry leader in safety. For more, you can check them out online, www.claiborneservices.com, or make it easy. Call Jeff, 780-910-6728.
Hiring right now. ClaiborneServices.com.
Now.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
.801 on the Nielson Show. Dustin Nielson and Lieutenant Eric with you. 22 degrees right now. Air quality's at an 8. And we've got a heat warning. That's great. Looking for just a high of 28 today, though. Easy peasy. 24, 19, 19, and then back up into the high 20s next week. Some showers as we work up. Maybe even a thunderstorm on Wednesday. Have we had a real good thunderstorm? You know, I want to get to a real good thunderstorm, and then I'll go watch Twisters. All right? Wouldn't that be better? Like, as you're walking into the movie theater, it's thundering and lightning out, and then you go and settle in. I've heard some good things about Twisters. I really want to go see it. Football season's a busy time for me, but I think I'm going to have to, like, after the kids go to bed one night this week, sneak out and see Twisters. Pretty excited for that. Nielson Show. Nielson Show brought to you by South Fort Chevrolet. Closer than you think since 1983. Short drive to Fort Sask. It's worth it to find the best deal at the best price. Your go-to dealership for Silverado 1500s heavy duties. 0% financing available on select models. 10109 89th Ave in Fort Sask. Or their website, because that's everywhere. SouthFortChev.com. You can text us anytime in the Paris Jewelers inbox. 22 locations across 4 provinces. Was in at Paris Jewelers last week. Great customer service. Paris Jewelers, West Edmonton Mall there.
Yeah, I walked Sunday. I walked past there and it was bumping, like buzzing. They had the sales associates on the floor. There weren't enough. Like there was customers waiting.
So much jewelry.
It was that type of rush, busy.
Yeah.
You know.
Good. Let's support those who support us.
Yeah.
Including getting some of those new boneless wings at Popeyes as we come to you from the Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen Studio. I wish we could make this like a scratch and sniff. So we could sniff it and it would smell like Popeye's chicken.
Yeah, hot or mild.
Wouldn't that be great?
Yeah.
Delicious. All right, let's get rolling with a little kind of easy trivia to start the hour. Then we'll get to 3 questions too many. One of the questions about that new Calgary Flames rink. We haven't got to that yet.
What a dump. Well, what was the thing? Fire on the top and ice on the bottom.
Let's save the hot takes. Let's save the hot takes. By the way, I'm excited to be here for hot takes this week. Thursday is going to be an all-time day.
Hey, yeah, are you?
Yeah, I'm here all week.
Okay, yeah, I guess the schedule would
I'm home
suggest,
this week.
Yeah, we got to...
I only have one game this week.
Yeah.
It's here in Edmonton.
Beauty.
It's great.
All Eastern games except the Edmonton one on Sunday.
Yeah, so I'm very excited for that. Anyway, Thursday's going to be a big day. Scalding hot takes. And a draft.
Holy crap.
Wednesday night prep is just going to be too much. Too much to handle. All right, who's going to play kind of easy trivia today? YouTube, Trev?
Menopause Nick.
All right, Menopause Nick looking to provide for his family. What a time to be alive. Let's bring in Nick this morning. Nick, good morning. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, Nielson. I'm good.
Nick.
How are you guys?
Doing good, man. We'll start the ticker after we read the first question, okay?
Sounds good. I just got to say one thing really quick.
Okay.
My brother's getting married in a few weeks, and I have to start with my best man speech with, "Hey, wedding guests."
You, sir, are a beauty.
Love it.
Menopause Nick. Gotta love him. Mr. Mike's Steakhouse Casual, the casualest place ever in the Hampton Inn on the corner of 137th Ave and Mark Messier Trail. They now got the 6 o'clocker lager in the house. Somebody's having a 6 o'clocker lager at Mr. Mike's over the weekend. See, I retweeted that?
You just caught somebody in the wild type of thing?
No. Somebody tweeted at me.
Oh, I see.
They're having a 6 o'clocker at Mr. Mike's. Aroused. I was
Heaven on
aroused.
earth.
I think it was great. All right, Menopause Nick, here we go. Good luck, man. Which major sporting event begins this Friday?
Olympics.
What country is basketball star Anthony Davis from?
United States.
Name one Canadian basketball player.
Jamal Murray.
What team does Jordan Love play for?
The Green Bay Packers.
Outside of green, what's the other color of the Packers logo?
Gold.
You can't have a newcomer come in and steal a show.
That's a paddling.
Oh, we've been strong. We're just playing by the rules.
Oh, you better believe that's a paddling.
And I was in Miami with my new beach house. Well, it was a couple minutes from the beach.
That's a paddling.
The first year, we took it to the limit.
Take it to the limit. You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
You cannot come to my house. No, not today.
Hey, wedding guests. I hope somebody gets it.
One in the back.
Oh, was that just his
on a
brother
6
being like,
o'clocker.
yeah, he said it. It's amazing. It's so good. Georgia Satellite went and saw Twisters. Says it was fantastic.
That's the buzz, hey? And we're raked in a lot of money.
Man. Yeah.
It's pulling money all of a sudden. and
it's
so
good.
that's...
You know why? It's because the first one was awesome. And then you mix in this hot stud in Glenn Powell. And the guys want to be him and the women want to be with him.
Yeah.
Right? It's just, he's phenomenal. I love this guy. So, yeah, I got to go this week. And then Deadpool and Wolverine comes out this weekend, too. So,
You'll be living at the theater.
I might do one of those things where I go see one and then I sneak into the other. Don't tell anybody.
Yeah, you just continue, like you exit the movie, you pay, for, and you just spend the entire day there. 3-4 movies. See how many you can squeeze into a day, eh?
That'd be fun.
Fill out the old
That'd be a fun day.
schedule.
Not on Friday. Friday's the Nasty Bash. If you'd like to join us on Friday and you've not yet got an invite, email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com. He might not get back to you right away today. He's going to be walking around with this sauerkraut thing he won at the Riverhawks game last night, which we proved on the show today that it was not a legitimate win. By the way, how about a huge show today? We learned that we want to use that wheel for more stuff, and we realized we have the ability to stream stuff off of our phone onto the studio TV that we can break down questionable moments like Maddie basically cheating in the race yesterday. So that's a big one. It's a big one.
We got you, Matt. You can't hide now.
It's been proven.
Yeah.
It's been proven. 780-218-9999 over in the Nasty Chat on YouTube. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching and give us a sub on the channel as well. We're going to get to that. Hurts for SBLLP, the personal injury lawyers over there. We'll go there. But first, let's get to 3 questions too many today. Lieutenant Eric, do you have a liner for the segment?
3 questions too many, brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda and dealer principal Mitch Lewicki, who could also beat Matt Iwanek in a potato sack racing contest backwards with a horse. Park Mazda, your dealer for life. Steve Hoagle's replied to the video from last night. You've tweeted
what
it
did he
out.
say? What did he say?
I quote tweeted it, farcical justice for LTE. He said, wily veteran move, and then one of the emojis with the making a bicep thing.
But what's the wily veteran move?
I don't know, having one of the staff give him the horse as he's not even
The
crossed the line.
horses should have been laid on the ground waiting for the guys.
Trev, we knew that it was a bit chaotic, though, prior to it. So, I mean, I guess that was kind of, that was the arena that we were in. Total chaos. And Matt Iwanek loves his chaos. So he comes home with the sauerkraut. He's not even going to eat that. What did he say? He's going to bring it
He's
here?
going to say he's going to keep it in his office.
No.
Who keeps? I might have to put down the boss foot on this one. Maddie, you're not allowed to keep a huge ass jar of sauerkraut in your office. Yeah. What is this?
I'm getting my spoonful, I'll tell you that much. You'll find it cracked open one morning.
Big Maple says, can we stop talking about the Nasty Bash already? Some of y'all don't have a wife who agrees to attend a hillbilly wedding in Delburn, and it shows.
Delburn?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, it's not the Sarfk, but it's close, eh?
The Wolf is in. It says, Day of Nasties. Just woke up. Have I missed anything important? Any important info on the Nasty Bash? Well, the Wolf, no important info outside of the fact that if you want to get in, email Matt at edmontonsportstalk.com, and there will be a major announcement at the Nasty Bash, and you're going to want to be there for it.
Don't want to miss this one. People will be talking.
A few announcements. So it should be.
You're right.
Should be exciting. We're looking forward to it.
Smash Mash will be there.
Smash Mash the Pelican in the house.
Get a picture with the.
No big deal. Do you have a Twitter account?
I do. It's at Lieutenant_Eric. You can follow on Twitter all the fun from last night's ball game up there. The video proof. Nice picture, too. Jay Milne went down and spoke to some randos, a couple rows in front of us. I think they did a real good job in capturing the vibe of the night. Iwanek's there with this. He's got this. The picture was taken after his win, so he's holding that sauerkraut with the big 1 just behind me. What a loser. Yeah. And then the video of Beerbat 1 versus Zach 0, and you had the video of him pouring the... Man, what a...
That might be what hurts.
Yeah.
That could be what
Doesn't
hurts.
hurt him, though, hey? He'll suck back that foam. And he didn't even get... Actually, half the beer's pouring out as I'm watching this
all pouring down his hand.
Man's never cracked a can in his life here.
Here's Zach opening up his first can ever.
And Trev was he was scooting around. Even an old guy was yelling at you on the sidewalk yesterday. The dog starts barking at Trev. And the guy goes, what's he doing on the sidewalk? Get him off the sidewalk.
And I asked the boys, I said, man, is Trev allowed to be on the road on that thing? And they said, that's where he's supposed to be. He's not allowed to be on the sidewalk.
Yeah.
Trev, you were really scooting like crazy last night.
He's all over the place.
Well, it's annoying because people rip on me for scooting on the street, and then I go on the sidewalk.
I mean, you were swerving all over the street.
But there was no one on the street.
Yeah, the street was the streets we were on were pretty dead.
Like I'm like going so slow, and some guy and his dog just barking at me, and he's like, yeah. He's like with a little Shih Tzu. He's like,
As
yeah,
you
and he's
went
like,
away, though.
yeah,
He
and I'm
yelled
like
as
going
you left, he
away,
didn't
and he's
yell at
like,
you.
he barks. The dog barks, and I'm like, oh, sorry. He's like, you should have barked louder. Get him. And I'm like,
Get
oh
him?
my
That's one of those
gosh,
little
like,
lap dogs. Like,
simmer
give me a break.
down.
You should have
Oh my
ran over
God.
his dog.
You could have.
Yeah.
Take that. Why are dogs allowed on sidewalks?
No.
Huh? There's a good question. Maybe animals should only be allowed on places with grass. Have you ever thought about that?
Who was walking who, hey?
Bingo. Anyway, Trev, you keep scooting with those sweet tricks you have and stuff.
And that skid.
You look
Boy,
like you
that
scoot.
skid.
You look like you scoot quite a bit.
That's all. Yeah. I used to scooter quite a bit actually growing up. It was skateboarding or scooting.
Yeah.
And I could never get skateboarding down. I struggle with skateboarding, but yeah, I could do some pretty cool tricks on a scooter. Not gonna lie, I like scooting a lot. Whenever I see one, I definitely
You
prefer.
wanna hop on there.
Yeah, I get an itch.
I've only scooted one time in my life. I was running late. It was the night of our documentary reveal at Garneau Theater.
And we went out for supper
Parked
with...
over there, but we went for supper down the way. I still got to fill those
the
forms.
Vings,
I haven't done
Vings.
that yet. Yeah. So I was just like, man, I'm going to be late. And there was a scooter sitting right there. And I was like, that's it. I'm doing it.
You got on there.
And it was fun.
Yeah.
I had a fun little scoot. It was a pretty good time. It was a lot of fun. And I liked it.
Team Lime.
All right, question number 1. Considering he didn't get the Blue Jackets job, how much longer until Woodcroft is back on the bench, boys?
Yeah, the Dean Evison era, hey?
Yeah, Dean Evison
That's
strikes
gotta-
again.
You know a Blue Jackets fan. You're the
Robbie
guy that was-
Laidlaw.
yeah,
Robbie
so
Lades.
you get his thoughts, you phone
I'll
him
have to
immediately.
text him. I'll have to text him.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get him on the show.
Actually, today on Two Guys and a Goalie, Blue Jackets fan, Robbie Laidlaw.
Whenever we need the opinion from a Blue Jackets fan. The last time I saw Jay Woodcroft, he was hawking that gut biome on Instagram. I was
Yeah.
going through my reels one day. He's like, hello, do you have problems eating and digesting your food? I was like, oh.
It's like Biz
Woody.
Nasty promoting boner pills.
Yeah, the same type of vibe. The question was, are we surprised or should we, where was he?
He said, when we see him back on a bench?
Yeah, I don't, like, is it a head coaching role? Is it a,
Well, I'm
does he be
wondering,
part
does
of a
he-
staff now? Or,
Yeah,
I don't
does
know, like-
Woodcroft have to become a staff guy before getting another head coaching
I guess
gig?
whatever's offered to you too. I mean, I don't
Yeah.
know who certain teams have certain ideas, but
I don't think Woodcroft should be the guy who's like, I'm only a head coach now. Like, I don't think he's at that level yet of head coach. I liked him as a head coach,
Yeah.
but I don't think he's the guy who's too big for an assistant coaching position because he was a head coach already once
and
in the league.
let's be honest, was a head coach of a Connor McDavid led team. Nothing against Jay Woodcroft there, but that's
No, but I mean, that's yeah. Oh, cool. So you can coach Connor McDavid to the playoffs.
there's got to be a little something there, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Huh.
well, he's been mentioned. He's been right discussed in these circles. Todd McClellan and all this. And
I would say if he wants to be on a bench in September, he'll be on a bench in September somewhere.
it's hockey, right?
Yeah,
he should
I
be
don't
able
think
to find
that's
it, yeah.
I don't think that's
If
crazy.
you want to do the gut biome thing too, it's
Yeah.
Am I the only one that saw that? You saw that, right? Did you see that? Did Trev? You saw that? Those ads, the reels that he was
No,
doing?
I did not see that.
It was
I
really
saw
odd.
it once popped up.
Yeah, it didn't stick around for too long, but
You used it as one of your
Did
scalding
I?
hot takes, and that's the only time I've ever heard of it. And I was like, what does he mean by that? But now I'm getting it now.
it's a confession.
It's a confession, yeah.
We're almost towards 200. Let's change 200 here. We're at 163. Hammer the thumbs up if you're watching on YouTube. This text is in and says, hey guys, I've been looking at a few different stores. I can't seem to find any birdie booze. Can you tell me where I can buy it? Thanks, Cal. Cal, it should be at all Sobeys and Safeway liquor locations in Edmonton and the surrounding area.
Good sign if it's flying off the shelves, I guess, in this regard. But
Yeah, I think it's probably moving pretty good. I know
Ask
a
around.
few boys
Yeah.
who've been taking these things down like crazy. So, but yeah, Sobeys and Safeway liquor locations in the Edmonton area. Like, it's not down in Lethbridge. It's not down in Calgary yet. But if it keeps moving well up here, I think you can also just go to Strathcona Spirits.
Yep.
You can order it online at Strathcona Spirits as well. Menopause Nick delivers it to you. It's a thing he's got on the side.
with his family.
Yeah. So that's where you can find it. Let us know. Like if you check it out today or tomorrow and you can't find it again, let us know. But it should be at all Sobeys and Safeway liquor locations unless they sold out at a few of those. Question number 2. On a scale of 1 to 10, what do you guys think of the look of the Flames' new barn? I know this is a very un-Edmontonian thing to do. I actually kind of like it. I don't mind the idea of how we'll see how it is.
What did you ask Danny Austin if they keep that rooftop
Well,
bar
he's like,
open?
oh yeah, like so. Danny Austin, who
I
does a
laughed
great
at that.
job covering all Calgary sports, he tweeted, he's like, and that top corner there, that's an outdoor bar. I was like, it's got to be like one of those outdoor bars that have the windows that like come down and
you'd
close or
hope,
something.
yeah, I mean-
because why would you have an outdoor bar on a rink in Calgary, Alberta for November, December, January, February?
Most expensive smoke pit ever. Right?
Well, I mean, is that what? Like, so that was, I mean, but I want to see it. Like anything can look good in
renderings.
the
renderings are a
site.
little, yeah.
Oh, it's a rendering. It
Even the
looks terrific.
people, I mean, they're all 7 foot tall, very built.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy.
Like, everybody's
That's not how
just
it is.
jacked. Where's the fat dudes in the rendering? That's what I want to know. Right? Like, where are those guys going to sit? Unbelievable. But I want to see it when it's eventually built.
Yeah.
If you can see the flame, what they're trying to do up at the top there.
Even the inside shot, it's kind of it's like that long
I don't even
view
care about the
camera
inside
angle.
shot.
No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah,
Well, I mean,
yeah.
but the Saddle Dome's got that dip. This is more kind of. The roof reminds me of like San Jose, that HP Pavilion or whatever. Kind of looks. I don't like it. I'm just gonna.
I'm
I
gonna
don't-
give it an 8 out of 10.
I don't really like anything
I don't
that goes
mind it.
on down there. I give it a 0.
Whoa, 0.
It's you could have done better. You could have. Why not? I don't know. What are they playing at? The whole top is supposed to be flames, but is that like a static design, or is it going to be like the sphere? Like, are they going to have like
this
flames
is
dancing
an
around
NFL
a
stadium,
screen,
like-
that type of thing?
Yeah, it's not the Clippers' new stadium that has T-shirt cannons built into the jumbotron.
Yeah, I don't know. It just looks weird.
I think I want to see if it. Do we take it too far with buildings now with the whole concept of fire up top and ice on the bottom?
Yeah,
This isn't a
yeah.
Game of Thrones book.
If you squint
Like,
and
make an arena.
step back 3 steps, it changes into something or other. I don't. care.
I used to have, not me, but I think a buddy had it. It was one of those, those 3D pictures where you have to like,
you stand kind of.
and it was a Mike Vernon one. And so it was like all Flames logos, but if you look closely, you could see Mike Vernon trying to make a glove save. And it'd be cool if the side of the building was one of those.
Something, yeah.
That'd be kind of neat. But I didn't hate it. I give it an 8 out of 10. You're going 0.
Hate it.
Trev, did you get a look at this thing?
Dump.
Did you look at it yesterday?
Just looking at it now, I think it looks pretty cool. I don't see what's wrong with it. It'll be cool to see it when it, obviously is built, but it's definitely going to be a lot nicer than the Saddle Dome. I mean, that's not.
I just wish they would have
that's not
threw a few
tough
bucks
to
at
do.
McMahon.
Yes.
I don't know why you're not building a new football stadium as well. Like,
Not the right people are making money off it.
so what do
I think
you
it
like
looks sick, though.
6 out of 10, 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10?
I'd give it like a 8 or 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty high on it.
I think it looks okay.
Yeah.
Bonnie Doonaron says, agree with Eric, especially when the provincial government is endorsing this and providing taxpayer money to fund them. And then he has a little poop emoji.
Oh, God. That poop emoji is hilarious.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Guys, the only issue I had with the renderings was that there was no way Calgary would be up 2-0 on Boston. Big uke. That's funny. Guys, look at the rendering and then dial it back about 50 to 60%. Remember what the rendering said that the community rink was supposed to look like? Easy to draw a picture of something expensive.
Renderings
That's
are the
Dex.
best. Yeah, renderings
Yeah.
are just, it's
It's like us right now. Like, we could put out a rendering of Shanks when we eventually move in there.
God.
And then you move in there and it's just this table in the middle of Shanks with nothing else.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, it's not what it looked like in the picture.
the rendering.
How much stuff shows up at your house when you order it online? You're like, this isn't what it was in the picture. Even out of food. Like, you go order a burger, you're like, oh, look how good that looks. And then it comes up and it's all squished down. You're like, what the hell is this?
It's all fake.
Yeah. You can never believe a rendering or a picture for that matter. All right, question number 3. We determined the order today. Tommy will have first choice of where he wants to pick. I'll have second. Lieutenant Erikov third. Glue Guy will have the 4th choice. Is Indiana Jones' hat the first hat off of the board on Thursday? And I haven't even looked up other hats yet. You got any other hats on your list?
I don't think I have a clothing.
You must have a clothing category, don't you?
Yeah.
Famous movie hats.
Is a mask a hat? No, a mask is a mask. Yeah, probably. I mean, provide me something better or more noteworthy.
Here we are, 16 best hats in movie history.
Oh boy, only 16.
All right, there's only we just got the 16, and they are in order. So let's go. We'll go all the way back. We'll go to the top here and then work our way back. Indiana Jones fedora. I mean, it's got to be number 1. I think. Looking at the rest of this category, Oh, it's got a first round grade.
Willy Wonka's top hat, but it's not touching Indy, I don't think.
Fez the monkey, the little purple hat from Aladdin. Ugh,
Nah.
gross category.
Well, and cartoony, so we can't.
Oh yeah.
right?
Well, it's a movie.
Okay, are we cartoons
I don't know.
movie?
I'll
Yeah,
have to
that's
ask
an
the
odd
commish.
one. Okay.
Bull Durham baseball cap.
Well, a pirate, pirate of the Caribbean. There.
Yeah,
That's his
Pirate
name,
of the Caribbean.
right?
It's Jack Sparrow. That'd be good. It's not a strong hat category.
Forrest Gump, Bubba Gump.
Bubba Gump,
Yeah.
ball cap. That's a good one, Trev.
The Oppenheimer hat.
Ugh. Blues Brothers hats. Those aren't bad.
Dumb and Dumber, the tuxedo hats. It still
tuxedo
doesn't-
hats and Dumb and
but
Dumber's not bad.
They don't move the needle.
I mean,
right?
it's a clear cut Indiana Jones fedora. Like when you look at that category, if you see Indiana Jones fedora and then 3 duds, that's gonna be a mark right there.
You got to move fast.
Grumpy Cat, who fell down on the way to the tee box on the 18th hole that we played at the EST Golf Classic. Grumpy Cat texted in earlier today and said, guys, I'd like to see the results posted in the order of your picks. Like, so instead of the categories, it's just our picks.
Oh, so like a true draft board almost in a sense.
So you can see who you get in your first round, second round, third round, fourth round. But
I don't mind that, but
I don't know, we've always done the category posting.
Big Maple says salmon hat from Sandlot.
See, I can't even remember.
The ball though from Sandlot would be an interesting.
The ball
prop.
from Sandlot, the one
Bambino.
that they have to go get, that one that'll be drafted. But yeah, the hat category. I mean, just to answer the question for 3 questions too many, I'll say yes.
Okay, well, how about this Mavs helmet from Top Gun? I still doesn't really move it for you.
Yeah, I don't know if that would work. I don't know if that one works either. John T. Victoria says the Blues Brothers hats.
And masks aren't hats, correct? Is that a different thing here? Like you can't take a mask as a hat, but you can take a mask in the open. There won't be a category for masks, but
I mean, technically, it goes on your head,
right? So,
but a hat, the definition of a hat would be
on
doesn't
top.
cover your face,
Right. So I'd probably not, eh?
780-218-9999, 780-218-9999. See, when you actually break down these categories, if you have to put that much of a value on Indiana Jones fedora, you're going to have to move early on it. It's as simple as that. Like, I would be shocked if somebody gets Indiana Jones's hat in like the 4th or 5th round. There's just no way.
And puts it in their open.
Oh, that would be nuts. Can you imagine taking the one Wayne Gretzky from a category and putting it in your open category? My God. If you do that, I'll do that reaction. People will be like, what the hell is going on in Evanston Sports Talk right now? The Harry Potter sorting hat. Oh, we got a bunch of sorting hat ones. Yeah, it's okay. Yeah, that'll probably get drafted. Guys, how about the sombreros from the Three Amigos?
That's pretty.
That's a good one
people
too.
know those. I mean,
that's a good one too. Yeah, keep those rolling in, man. It's gonna be a tough one to prep for.
That's a question I didn't want. I didn't want to get into that hat court, but I think we've found the answer here. There's nothing that touches that one. It's going for half a mil for crying out loud.
Yeah, somebody's paying $500,000 for it. The reason they're probably paying $500,000 for it is because it's the GOAT hat
And
of
when
movie
Quinn
props.
puts it on the table prior to the draft,
Oh my God, that'd be.
you got to move quick.
That'll be amazing, wouldn't it? Oh my goodness. All right, there you go. That is 3 questions too many. Brought to you by the great staff at Park Mazda. Go see Mitch. He'll hook you up with the Mazda that you need. You're gonna love it. Let's dive into That Hurts for SBLLP, personal injury lawyers. Somebody get hurt over the weekend? Probably. Are they going to get as much money as they possibly should? Well, they will if they go to SBLLP. Just leave it in the hands of those who can look after you. Personal injury lawyers at SBLLP have the experience to gather evidence and advance your claim to ensure you get fair compensation. And the best part is you don't need to be like, oh, I don't know if I can do this. You don't have to be intimidated by the process because they look after it for you.
You hear that, Riverhawks t-shirt guy? All the emotional hurt you had last night getting booed off the field?
Go to www.sb-llp.com, click on personal injury, or call 780-438-5281. That's 780-438-5281. No need to feel shame. Let SBLLP handle the claim. Yeah, that's where we have to go for That Hurts again, eh? There's a lot of things from the baseball game last night that we could qualify as That
And boys,
Hurts.
again, this isn't a one-off. This has been a steady performance, subpar all season long.
Yeah.
I just don't. When do you make the change? We're talking Elks quarterbacks through 6 games. They're almost done their regular season. This guy's still peppering them onto the
2
roof.
T-shirts last night onto the roof. And another one I don't know if that was the wind that played it, but it came back around, didn't even make it into the stands. So,
Again, we're this late in the season. We can't be blaming the elements as an excuse here.
No, he should know the wind by now. He should know the wind.
He should know the dimensions of the park.
Smoke's not an excuse. You cannot be doing somersaults and then shooting T-shirts up under the roof. It doesn't make any sense. So, there's a list of things that could possibly hurt from last night's game. First of all, Riverhawks win, thrilling fashion, walk off, crowd went nuts. It was great. We had an amazing time. You got the Alley Cat beers flowing there. It was a lot of fun. I love going places where our partner Alley Cat is just front and center. It's terrific.
I had a hot dog.
You did have a hot dog. I didn't have a hot dog
great.
last night. I think I had 2 beers at the game.
Great
And that was
food
it.
down there.
So here are the things that would hurt from last night's game. 1, T-shirt cannon guy firing 2 onto the roof. Just makes no sense. Nobody's there for your style points. You need to execute throwing the T-shirt out of the cannon gun into the stands where the people are.
It's a team sport here.
Number 2, Zacticum trying to pour beer into the beer bat.
And not only the pour.
That hurts.
But as watching the video closely again this morning, he's pouring half the beer onto the ground.
It was
an all-around bad look.
I've never seen anybody that came back to the stands so happy as Zach carrying that beer bat.
Look at all this foam. Guys.
He was just walking along. He's just like, I got my beer bat. He was loving it. So that hurts. So that's a bad look for Zacticum. The other thing that hurts with Zacticum last night was we were playing a game of, I'll name the all-time famous athlete. You tell me what sport they played. Missed on a couple last night. So that hurts as well.
That McGuire thing.
The Mark McGuire one hurt.
The sword is still firmly lodged in my chest.
That hurt. I told him, I said, go back and just watch the home run chase between Sammy Sosa and Mark McGuire. I didn't even get mad at him that he didn't know that Mariano Rivera was a baseball player. Yes. I didn't get mad at him that Reggie Miller played in the NBA. And then I asked Al McInnes, and he looked at me like I'm an idiot. He's like, one of the best defensemen ever. I was like, wow, hockey nerd. Who's Mark McGuire? And he literally turns. We have video of it. He turns to me and goes, I've never heard of that name before ever.
Make it stop already.
But he wasn't born until
I know, but
5 years, 6 years after the home run chase.
30 for 30, and he's 60, right? Like it's a historical.
I was saying to Milne last night, we're sitting there. I said, if you were asking me about a bunch of guys who were born in the 70s,
sure,
before I was born, would I know them? And that level of name, yes, I would know them.
Jim Brown exercise all over again. Zacticum is in the Paris Jewelers inbox. I will have my redemption, he says.
I don't
know on what. Is it the sports, the beer, just in general, he will have his day.
One day, he's going to pour a perfect beer bat and answer what sport Sammy Sosa plays.
He will stump the Schwab and drink a perfectly poured beer.
So that hurts from the game last night as well. And then, of course,
well, the screw job, the Remax Field screw job.
The Matthew Iwanek screw job. That might hurt the most. I'm asking you guys, what hurts the most?
Well, it's the screw job, because I think we were part of that, Trev, and you could probably speak for it. I mean, how much did Hogel know, and when did he know it? Because we're asked, Maddie comes up to the stands, and we kind of figured we're there on a night.
Did they tell you guys before you go, you have to ask the woman at the end to hand you the
Here's how it went from my point of view. And Trev, if you got any other information, please share. But she comes up, hey, you guys want to do a potato sack race? Potato sack race, sounds great, sounds fun. We go down there, no potato sacks, it's this, nylon, whatever it is. Zach's putting it over his head. And then we were told we have to do it backwards, and then there'll be a horse component, to which I didn't really know what happened there. They got the game going, no horses to be seen. I know, Trev, you had an issue with the starter's gun. I mean, we can debate the false start all day long too, but I go to look for a horse, no horses there, and Iwanek's already galloping to the finish line. So I don't know. That it was painful. I wanted that sauerkraut.
Should we show the video again? I know we hit it earlier in the show, but there's be a lot of new people watching.
At least for the Iwanek.
I think so.
Prancing.
Right, let me bring up my air. Yeah.
If anything.
Let me bring up this is now that we figured out this AirPlay thing to the TV, you realize how much fun we're gonna have with this. All right, Trev, select it. Here we go. We're gonna give you another look at the. Can you do that screen cap to the middle too? So this is the race last night, and all right. So here we go. If you're watching over on YouTube, you'll be able to see. Let me fast forward to when we get go. Look at Wanek's already taking that look back. Watch right here. Look,
he knows. They
Nobody
told
else,
him.
He's looked back
he knows what's going on. Yeah.
Trev's still trying to get in his sack. All right, so now everybody gets their look. Oh, okay, so I actually think Lieutenant Eric moves first.
Well, they said go.
Oh, they said
I
go.
never
Okay.
heard go.
But they said it real quietly. It's like that show with the guy on the cooking thing, and they're like, 3-2 or whatever. And he says,
Look at this. I love this.
Maddie's already mid jump.
And Zach's standing in the middle, not doing anything, which I think is classic. Well, actually, look, Zach is 3 feet behind Trev and just starts from there. So Zach to come bouncing his way back. At this point, Rick and Maddie are even.
This is where Trev passes. That's a big pass right there.
Trev passes that. Yeah, Trev, you cranked it up a notch right here. Boom, 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 boom. Then we get here. Look at Maddie. See this horse? Look at that horse head. Rick, point to the horse head.
Handed to him.
Handed to him. It's just sitting there waiting for this guy.
And now we have the
Look at Eric. Eric's reaching back for the exact same. You look like you're in the race with the baton. Like
that phantom umbrella that
all right,
comes
so
into play.
You're reaching for it. The umbrella takes you out of the picture here. Trev also looks back, looks like he's going to reach. Maddie, you can't tell. He's already dropped the potato sack. He reaches to grab that. Look, watch. By the time he gets this horse, look at the sack. Gone. Wasn't even there.
And now
you're still reaching. She's handing another horse to Trev.
They forgot all about me.
Boom, there goes Maddie galloping.
Rewind.
Maddie galloping away.
I want this at a gift.
Oh, look, he's going to gallop with his horse the whole way.
Hey.
Trev takes off. Zach is casually getting out of his thing.
Trev's just going.
Eric, look where Matt is, and you still haven't got your horse. Look at this. Look at this. You guys arrived at the same. Look at this. You arrived at the same time. Okay, you're coming in at the same time.
Front and to the back.
By the time you get your horse, Maddie's almost won the race.
Yeah.
You're telling me this isn't a screw job?
But check out the sprint here at the end. I make it
a full speed. Look at that.
I'm taking him any day in a race. We want to do 50, 100 yard, 200.
Anyway, it looked very dramatic. My last favorite part about this is we get it on the jumbotron.
Oh, yeah. We didn't show this in the first show.
This right here. Watch Trev come in and hit Maddie with his horse. This is great. They cut to a good shot of it here at some point. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. But
now Maddie recognized everywhere he goes. Hey, I mean it's.
Oh yeah, so Maddie's walking around. Kids are coming up to him,
chest out,
like he's Mark McGuire. Zach still has no clue what's going on. He's like, what's happening here? It's crazy. So that hurts.
It really does.
SBLLP.
Yep.
All right, let's get to a sports update with Lieutenant Eric Gager. Locked and loaded. We'll get Gager's thoughts on this controversy. He just watched the whole breakdown. Let's get to sports update with Lieutenant Eric. You can text us anytime, 780-218-9999. That'll get you into the Paris Jewelers inbox here on The Nielson Show, presented to you by South Fort Chevrolet.
Riverhawks coming away with a 5-4 win over Nanaimo last night, taking the opener of that 3-game set. Game 2 tonight, weather permitting. Coverage starts at 7 here on Edmonton Sports Talk. Hawks 5-5 in their last 10, a game and a half back of top spot in the North. Prospects are up in Fort McMurray tonight in Western Canadian League action, while the Jays, they'll host the Rays to begin a 3-game set, with MLB's trade deadline falling on next Tuesday. Miami defeating Memphis 120-118 in overtime as the Heat capture their first Summer League championship. Stingers are back on the court Monday. They'll wrap up their CEBL regular season schedule at home to Winnipeg. And the Elks return home to host the Ticats Sunday afternoon, as Week 8 in the CFL will kick off Thursday for Montreal between the 5-1 Alouettes and 5-1 Rough Riders.
The Nielson Show featuring Lieutenant Eric. Only on Edmonton Sports Talk.
You know what we should do? I said this idea. I don't want to say it's a brilliant idea, but it'd be a fun idea. I think like once a month, we should have Zach's big sports test where he comes in, sits in between us. We tell him at the beginning of the month, your category will be 90s baseball.
Like Jeopardy almost.
We spin the wheel to determine
what the category is. And then he has like 3 weeks to study. Then he comes in, he sits here, we ask him 20 questions on whatever the category. This is a great idea. You guys think this would be fun?
Oh, yeah.
I think this would be a lot of fun. And it'd be a good way for Zach to come to learn different things.
And he texts back, and I did know who Rivera was. I said baseball player. Like I think he's up for the challenge, clearly. Like he won't stop here. Yeah, and I think incorporating the wheel would be nice.
Zacticum's monthly sports test. If he doesn't get 60%, he's out. We'll go find a guy named Brett. We'll call him Brett Cookham, and he can come from Nate here and do his practicum with us. I think that'd be a fun one. If you're watching over on YouTube, we're 21 away from changing 200. That would be great. Walk Gage, Gager. He's been with you the last couple of days. I haven't got to see him.
It's great.
Yeah, there he is. Gager, what's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
The coach.
I'm good. The voice is still a little raspy. So, but
so you were really yelling at these small children over the weekend.
It was a voice of encouragement, Dusty, and positioning. I can't help myself. I just I get too involved every time I say, okay, just take it easy. You don't save your voice, but no, it's too much fun. I always said if I could find the time, I think that would be my ideal kind of job to do is go coach 9-year-olds. That's my wheelhouse. I love coaching these kids. What they say, they're just everything out of their mouths is hilarious, and they really want to win. They're awesome little hockey players. I had some studs.
Yeah.
I mentioned some names on the show yesterday. That one of the kid, he's going to be on the Brick team next year. His name is Hendricks McMillan. Like, come on.
With an X too, I think.
I'm putting a first round grade on this kid already.
And who's the other guy there, Gager?
Oh, hold on. I'll look him up here. I have his
Start with a W. Hey, was it Walt or West or something like that?
Yeah, it was Wes Suda. He was my D-man from, I think he's out in St. Albert, little D-man from St. Albert. Look for him too. I think there's a good possibility that he could be on the Brick team too. He's really good.
Oh, wow. That's unbelievable stuff, eh? It's funny you mentioned the things kids say, because I was coaching a U9 team this year, obviously, with Marshall's team, and in our spring league with the, I can't remember the name of the program that he was in, Ice Crushers. Anyway, the one kid, he was funny, pretty good player, but he just sort of seemed like mentally checked out of all the games. And the one game we're losing like 8-5, and he was just like always on the bench. He's like, well, we're not winning this one. And then, but the one game we came back and actually won, and he goes, I should say the opposite all the time now. So, like, for the rest of the season, we're getting pumped, and he's like, well, looks like we're never going to come back here. And we're like, man, it's not working anymore. Like, stop saying he just thought it was like the key to a victory. God, it was a funny kid. It was a funny kid.
The best is all they are is regurgitating the stuff that their parents say.
Yeah.
Probably while watching Oilers games, right? Yeah. So, and a lot of it, the timing of it is completely misplaced because they say this thing to their own teammates, or and then they go out there and do the exact same mistake. So it's hilarious.
It was it's funny you mentioned the parents thing, because sometimes this year I noticed on the bench, I'd be sitting there and Marshall, pretty vocal. He's on the bench and he's yelling things that he heard me say to him about the team. Like, I'm like, no. Hey, don't worry about that. Leave that up to the coaches. He's just, it was kind of funny. It was kind of funny. Hey, Gager, did you watch the video that we broke down from the controversy down at Remax last night?
Yeah. My initial thought was they didn't have the budget for the double 2 caps in the cap gun to start that thing. A false start is first of all what comes to mind. Complete false start. Obviously they didn't have the budget for that extra bang to restart everyone. And you got to say, Matty took advantage of the whole situation.
Yeah, I think his smarts came through there. He was the first to reach back.
Very cunning
for the horse, even though you were coming in at the same time.
I'm still looking for that horse.
Yeah.
I don't know the rules for everything, but isn't it it's a gallop? Like, that was not a gallop.
He started to gallop.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he saw Trev start sprinting, he's like, oh, I have to sprint now too. So if there was a gallop,
I think Zach was the only one that had the horse between his legs, as traditionally you ride, right? Like he was actually doing it right. Like
Zacticum was going,
he was honest the whole way. Yeah.
This one's not broke.
Let's face it, Matty's always ridden side saddle. All right.
Walk Gage with us on the show this morning. You know what we need? We need a name for this. The something that starts with an R at Remax. Like there he is, Zacticum. What would you? I'm trying to think what it would be.
Yeah, screw job is one thing, but something with an R.
Blah 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 at Remax. That's what it'd be remembered by for the rest of our days. Yeah, that's going to be interesting. You know what else has been interesting, Gage, are the fallout from F1 this weekend. My God, I know you guys would have talked about it yesterday, but I was reading things on. So what's the biggest story for you? Max, obviously locking it up and then trying to pretend it's not all his fault, and then going at it with his team on the radio because he's not happy with the decision here or there, and basically just being a big baby as he's not winning these races right now, or the fact that McLaren decided to flip the guys and gave the win to Piastri. What's the bigger story for you?
To me, if I take in the whole picture, I think it's the kind of everyone catching up to Red Bull now.
Yeah.
And it started last week with Christian Horner complaining about the wheel drums of the McLaren car, that they weren't sealed, and that's why there's little holes in there that you can get the tire temperature from through practices 1 through 3, but then they have to be sealed. But Horner was saying that they left them open, and that's why they had such better tires by the end of the race, which they've already confirmed that they closed it. But when have we heard Christian Horner complain about another team? We haven't heard this since back with the old cars and Mercedes all the time, right? So obviously he's worried about this.
They're reeling right now, man, right? They're reeling.
They are completely, yeah. And all the data that Max is seeing, I think, is making him upset, because now he realizes he doesn't have the fastest car anymore. And it started in practice. If you go back and watch some of his helmet cam, he's yelling back at the pit crew, complaining about the car during practices, how bad it is. So this is next weekend's going to be great. Like this next race back in Belgium,
Spa, baby.
It's kind of like Max's home race, he was born there. So it's going to be a lot of orange, a lot of pressure. And look, although they might wear a lot of orange, it doesn't match the best team right now, and that's McLaren.
Well, and like the fact that Checo's a non-factor as well just goes to show what's happening with this Red Bull car, right? Like it's ridiculous how far he is behind all of the other top-end talent right now.
He's completely dropped off. And we talked about this long time ago, Dusty, where Max, the way he develops the car, likes a lot of front end, right? And they equate it to having a mouse to a computer on the sensitivity, like Max sensitivity. So just the slightest little adjustment and it's over. So he's got hyper control that front, and sometimes which doesn't make sense really for Checo, because he's been Max's teammate for a number of years now, so he knows how this is going. I just think the pressure of everything, the probably the stipulations within his contract where there are performance incentives that he has to match, or else he can be ousted at the end of the year. They even say he might be done. It's unlikely, but there's going to be, if he doesn't have a good Belgium, Dusty, I think there's going to be a huge internal review if they even proceed with Checo at this point, because when it comes down to the constructors, they're not gonna be there by the end of the season.
Oh, it's not gonna be Danny Rick getting that seat, I don't think. He didn't have some good things to say about his strategy either, right?
No, yeah, he was moaning a little bit with coming out into the DRS train, and rightly so. But funny how Ricardo's the one complaining, where it's been a disaster. Let's face it. Like, he came to that team to solidify some points every weekend, and Yuki Tsunoda has outdriven him, I think, every race except for one, basically. So if anyone deserves that Checo's seat, I mean, look no further than Yuki. I'd love to see him in there. He's great. I mean, he's been the most consistent driver for the RB team.
Gager, we'll talk Acolyte on Two Guys and a Goalie today, all right?
Probably a good 35 to 40 minutes.
My God. Yeah. Like, Cass better have watched it, or else he's off the show. That's it. Sorry, Cass.
You know what? Trev and I have had a lot of good discussions while you were gone.
We were talking about it last night at Remax, too. He's like, Gager and I were nerding out over it for sure. It was really good. I like the way it finished. All right, buddy. We'll talk to you at noon.
Awesome.
There you go. That's Walking Gage. He will be back. How does he get off so quickly there? That's insane. I don't know how he disconnects so fast.
It's like a pit stop.
Anyway, Gager will be back with us on Two Guys and a Goalie today with myself and Gager and Cass at noon, presented by GS Construction. Two Guys and a Goalie every Tuesday and Thursday live, high noon, right here on Edmonton Sports Talk. All right, so we've got some suggestions on what we call this mess.
From the...
So Awanik's trying to name it himself, which
Classic.
totally can't do. He goes, it should be called Awanik's Redemption at Remax. We've watched the video twice now on the show today. It's clearly a little sketchy. Here are some other ones. The Ripoff at Remax. I don't mind that one. I think
Sobek Kirk says the Ruse at Remax.
The Ruse at Remax.
The Remax Ruse.
The Ruse. What's better, the Ripoff at Remax or the Ruse at Remax? I think the Ripoff at Remax kind of sounds nice.
It was a ripoff.
It was a ripoff.
Yeah.
You and Trev both got ripped off.
No sauerkraut for us.
Nope. The Ripoff at Remax. July 22nd, 2024. Surveyor Brett, put it in your phone. Next year, during this time, you can text us and be like, guys, it's the anniversary of the Ripoff at Remax. And then we can dive back into it. Sobekirk says, it's been nice to see Max drop back down and starting to show his true colors. Yeah, when he actually has to race.
Yep.
It's great. It's actually made for a really fun season so far.
That's just it.
Like this Formula One season is much more entertaining and intriguing than last year's season. 100%. Zacticum, did you hear us talking about your monthly test? Yeah, I knew you'd be in. You're in for anything.
Dog and a bone.
I think instead of calling it the Wonderlicht, we call it the Zactilicht. What do you think? You think that would work? Starting in August, we'll have the first Zactilicht test. We were looking.
I think he suggested Testicum. He texted that one in with a couple of laughing
Did he
emojis.
actually?
Oh, he sure did. Yeah. He's all over that.
Testicum. That's not bad. That's not bad.
He's howling.
He's just killing himself out there right now. Testicum's not bad, actually. It's kind of funny. I think Zactilicht's pretty good too.
Yeah, they're.
I mean, we got some options for it. So yeah, we'll spin at some point in August. We'll spin the wheel, determine what the category is.
So say you give him a category. We'll just bowling. Like, how deep do we go?
Well, we're not. I don't think bowling will be on the list.
No, but I'm saying just an example. You pick a sport, but are you just kind of raising the top, or are we kind of going?
I'm looking at the wheel.
Yeah,
and you could have like Swedish hockey players.
Oh,
closers in Major League Baseball.
I see.
1990s NFL. And then we spin the wheel. He picks one of those categories.
Logos.
And we test them.
You show him a weird logo
during the Zactilicht. Yeah. Logos is too easy.
Well, you never know.
Yeah. All right, 780-218-9999. Colin the Amish man is in the Parachuters inbox and says, I vote for the ripoff at Remax. I've already got it burned into my memory.
Yeah.
There we go.
Goes off the tongue nice.
Next year, maybe on the anniversary of the ripoff at Remax,
Demand revenge.
we do it again.
Yeah.
The rematch at Remax.
Start training now.
Same 4 guys, except the horses are placed
I'll bring my own horse.
where they should be. And you pick it up.
Still would have whooped him, he said.
Maddie, how can you say that? How
he's
can you
riding
say
high
you still would have
because
whooped him? You might have still won, but you would have whooped him. We watched the video today. You were like,
Eric had the first jump.
it was close. First jump was close. He did have the first jump.
So he got the advantage.
But you guys got to the horses at the same time.
Because I was looking back and I saw where the horse
But if you each had a horse placed right behind you, you can't tell me it would have been the same result.
I still would have got, I wasn't even close to the distance once I got it.
But it comes down, but
The horse was between my
but you were like 3/4 of the way back. He hadn't even got his horse yet because of the horse debacle.
where they were.
What's that?
Was.
I shouldn't have had to.
The horses should have been laid out so you could have grabbed it at your convenience.
I had to deal with that. But I looked back and I saw where they were.
The ripoff at Remax.
Yeah.
Paying attention, looking back. You don't look forward, you look back. You're jumping backwards.
We had him. He was reaching for it the same time you were reaching for it. But she gave it to you. But if they were all set down, you would have grabbed it.
And I still would have beat them all.
I think it would have been a real good sprint race at the end. I think I would have sided with this guy.
Of course you would, because you guys are co-hosts.
Well, no, it's not a co-host.
You'd side with
He's
me.
a fast
No,
runner.
I'm beating
He's a
you.
fast runner.
And he had the jump and I got there first.
What's Zacticum say? Where's the judge when you need him? Trev, where do you come out on all this? You're sitting here quietly. You're the guy who was in second until the very end when Rick ran by you, but what do you think about it? Well, nobody knows where the finish line was. I still don't know where the finish line was.
I don't know.
Where was the finish line?
No rules.
Nobody knew.
If I'm being honest, I'm like completely not bothered at all. Like it's like if we were to run it back and like 100% out of everyone, like let's go. And if I lost, knowing that I gave it all, I would be pretty butthurt this morning. But like what? I maybe gave 50% of what I had. So it's like
Trev just mailed it in.
So it's like I'm like, should I? I said, I told Maddie, I'm like, should I go for it? Should I just have fun? He's like, you need to go for it. And then I didn't really go for it. Like, I don't know. If we were to run it back, I guarantee the outcome would not be Maddie in first.
Oh, baby.
And so that's why I'm just like, Maddie, he won fair and square. Good job. But like, did he really win?
I think it's impressive none of us fell over.
Yeah.
Jumping backwards in that sack.
Yeah,
I was
no,
certainly
it was
set
good.
up. We all made it, which is, I think.
I thought you were going to push Zach over. I was waiting for it.
I thought, yeah. So like, if we were going forward, I was telling everyone, I'm like, I'm pushing Zach. I'm going to push Zach. But it was tricky going backwards. And then I already saw like it was like 2 jumps, and then I passed Zach. So I'm like, I don't need to push down Zach.
Squid in the Park says the debacle at Ducey.
Oh, the debacle at Ducey. That's a nice throwback in there too. The debacle at Ducey. Awanik, if they do it again next year, are you open to a rematch? Oh, I love it. Maddie just said, I'll kick their ass.
That's
oh
so
my
good.
God, I want this rematch
It's
so
going to be
bad
a
next
long
year.
year.
That's so funny. I love it.
Long year.
Debauchery at Ducey. The ripoff at Remax. There's some... Oh, the shoulder. He's still using the shoulder thing.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Ooh.
Looks like it really was. Sour kraut. Right?
I am German. I'm pretty pissed off. Yeah, we got fields out at the St. Albert Rugby and Football Club. We got fields there.
Whoa.
Wide open fields.
Whoa.
Wide open
A
fields.
rematch this Friday.
If Maddie's so confident, he really should. Okay, let's go whenever.
We can easily bring just 4 sticks. That's all you really need. You don't need the horse head on it. Interesting. Interesting.
It's gotten pretty quiet over there.
All right, let's get into the wrap for William Huff. If you want your stuff to look extra tough, go see the crew at William Huff. www.williamhuff.com. They've been doing it since 1952. And here's Gazzola. You guys, Maddie, you going to talk about this on the Hangout today? What do you think? He says. Tommy, it was kind of.
I was very impressed with how nimble Matthew is, though.
Yeah.
If Trev would have given it 100%, good chance. I think
He got screwed by the horse handoff.
I'm still looking for the horse.
Yeah. Ryan says right now, have the race at the Nasty Bash. I like the idea of you in October being like, I'm still looking for the horse from the Riverhawks in July.
Yeah. Well, this is kind of like Money in the Bank. Like I just get to slap down a challenge and I want it any time now, hey?
I'm not going to say anything.
Let's race now.
Man, you won't hear this. I'm going to say it very quietly, but I think on Friday, if I can find like 4 horse sticks, legit horse sticks, and 4 potato sacks, as we're sitting there, we'll all be talking about it, and he's going to start talking big. And I go, well, guess what I have? Zach. And then it's on.
Get the horses.
Zach, get the horses. Get the horses, Zach. That'll be fun. This should be a good time. Hey, if you want to join us at the Nasty Bash, email Matt at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. And if there's room, Matty can put you on the list. And it's going to be a good time. We got a major announcement coming on Friday at the Nasty Bash. You're going to want to be there. Should be good. All right, so let's get in. By the way, Bruce, William Huff, last night, saw you guys in the Jumbotron. It's like, man, you should have texted me. Could have come down to the suite. What a nice guy.
Next time.
What a nice guy. You can't roll in with 7 people into a suite that seats 12. Like, would have been a real jerk move by all of us to just roll in there, order a bunch of drinks on his tab. Thanks, Bruce. I guess I couldn't do that to the guy. He's too nice. All right, what did we learn on the show today?
How about this one? Aaron Grimes has found a landing spot. He's joining the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They've added him to their practice roster this morning.
What?
Yeah, so...
Really? Good for Grimes, man.
Yeah.
I thought injuries were basically just going to end that career. So
Miss seeing him walking around the tailgate and such, but good for him. Practice roster with the Bombers.
Good for him. I mean, if you're looking for a team that could really add a veteran presence in the secondary,
let that hang there.
I don't know if he'll end up playing for the Bombers, but good for him to get back on a. Grimes is a nice guy. Well, that's good news. I like that. And that is something I just learned right now, as you said.
It's one of those, it's summertime and the living's easy here. So.
That's great. I learned today that YouTube Trev is going to install an air conditioner today. So when you come in tomorrow, do you think it's done or do you think something holds you up?
It's 100% done.
Whoa. I like that.
Yes.
I always go into things with I might get it done today.
No, I need to get it done.
Wow, good for you, man.
Thanks, buddy.
That's terrific. All right, let's get to your sound of the day. As we said, this is one of the most summer sentences ever. Jaunty and Victoria remixes a Teef's Jarius Jackson song. That is your sound of the day today. We'll get to text of the day coming up still as well.
Jarius Jackson, you are for real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Jarius Jackson, you are now the new interim head coach of the Edmonton Elks. They have a great receiving corps, but now you gotta get the defense to stop a few plays here and there, so you can win a damn football game. For real, for real, for real, real. The fan base wants a win, so let's get out there and do it, do it, do it. Let's get out there and get the Elks to win the Grey Cup. Celebrate with the boys with the 6 o'clock log. For real, for real, for real, for real, for real, for real. Let's go, Elks.
There you go. Jaunty and Victoria remixes a Teef's Jarius Jackson song.
It's kind of got the same Mr. Holland's Opus vibe that we had going on the one summer when we got the...
that's right.
Kinda,
yeah. Changing 200, right on the nose as we set to wrap up a July 23rd show. You know what Rick and I were talking about this morning? It might be time to start previewing NFL camps. Right? Who wants some NFL camp previews? It's time.
Where are we going? Where do you want to go?
Yeah, we'll try to get as many as we can. We got time between now and the end of August. We'll get this whole league locked and loaded, ready to go here for you. Big football show. Big football show.
And maybe some of the old, Mark Long down in Jacksonville, obviously the guy we thought that interviewed Roberta. Like, there are some hitters around the NFL that have appeared on the show multiple times in the past, so maybe we reconnect with a few of them.
All right, let's get to your text of the day today. Let's go with this one. Text of the day, of course, is for A&W. You're going to win a gift certificate to A&W.
For real.
You win the gift certificate.
I can't get the...
Do it. Come and chill your thirst with the new A&W frozen root beer. Made with natural cane sugar, natural flavors blended with ice. And the most refreshing part, this is cool. For a limited time, when you buy any size frozen A&W root beer, you'll get a second frozen A&W root beer, not for $3, not for $2, not for $1.
50 cents?
For free. Double the flavor, double the chill, double the joy for one delicious price. Hurry in and try one today. Offer is valid for a limited time at A&W Brew Bar locations. Edmonton, St. Albert, Sherwood Park, or Devon. Quick scenario check here on you. So you tell your friend, I tell you, for example, today, let's say we work somewhere else, whatever. I'm like, hey, I want to head to A&W. I'll buy you a A&W frozen root beer. So you go down, you order the root beer, knowing that the second one's going to be free, but you've told your buddy, I'm going to buy it for you. Yeah, you know it's going to be free. You give it to him. He sees that you didn't have to pay for it. Does that guy call you out and being like, hey, you didn't buy me this? And technically, you kind of did because you paid for the other one.
I'm taking you out for a root beer. As long as you don't say the word buy or purchase or anything that involves an exchanging of money.
Yeah.
I think you're in the clear.
I think if you're the other guy, you just suck it up. He got you something.
Well, then if he doesn't know... Now you're entitled to get a gift back. He's going to buy you an actual drink. Actually buy one.
That's another thing we learned on the show today. Farhan Banya. We forgot about that. That was in the 6 o'clock hour.
And you still owe him a supper, right? Or
no, I don't owe him a supper. I was going to buy him a supper. Somebody else stepped in and bought both our suppers.
So, but you still then owe him a
supper. No way. I don't owe him a supper. I was willing to pay for that supper. It's not my fault somebody else paid for the supper. That's my supper.
What did he have?
Farhan Banya is not going to...
Was it a soup?
Well, actually, you know what? That bugger. He ordered dessert.
That's a full meal.
I didn't even have dessert.
Well.
So anyway, Farhan Banya. That's the new joke. We're going to have him on at some point.
Kenny Lolshi.
Let's bring in Farhan Banya. All right, text of the day today goes to Andrew. He's going A&W. Who has a better percentage this year?
Oh.
Boris Beatty or Riverhawks t-shirt cannon guy?
Pillar to post on that one. I love it. That was a really good one.
That's a great text.
Wow.
Also, shout out to t-shirt cannon guy. We didn't mean to rake you over the coals today, but enough with the somersaults if you can't hit the crowd with the t-shirts.
Yeah, walk before you run here. That's all we're asking. Not too much.
What do you think would make people happier? No somersaults, 4 t-shirts delivered into the crowd, or somersaults and only 2 t-shirts delivered into the crowd? What's that?
The two that landed is the exact same spot.
Yeah.
I do like that he's the Beatty of t-shirts, and then you bring in the Dean Faithful, and again you're identifying a seat, and he's sticking them right there, like a postage
but
stamp.
Only can go 15 rows up. It was a lot of fun. All right, Hangouts coming up. I think it's Zacticum with Maddie and Tommy today, which is a big moment for Zacticum because he can chime in.
Well, a recap of the
On the
night
race.
from
He
their
was in the
point of view.
race.
Yeah. This should be interesting.
He was in the
This
race. He probably witnessed the whole ripoff at Remax firsthand. All right, that's going to do it for us today. I'll be back with the Lock Shop at 11. 2 Guys and the Goalie today, presented by GS Construction. That'll be happening at noon today here with myself and Gager for YouTube. Trev, good luck with the installation of that air conditioner today. And Lieutenant Eric, I am Dustin Nielson. I'll talk to you in a few hours. Hangouts coming up. If you're on YouTube, turn on the autoplay. It'll take you right on over. If you're listening on TuneIn, iHeart, or at EdmontonSportsTalk.com. A small dose of Whale and the Wolf, and then the fun continues right here on EST. Take it easy.